ค Can't do what you do. Only you. Give me that deja vu. Only you. Before you found me, I was floating among the stars. No direction till I landed in your arms. Destiny makes sense when I look in your eyes. A new force of nature that brings me to life. Baby, I can't help it. I've never felt like this. Only you can do what you do. Only you give me that deja vu. Only you.
You lift me off of the ground. I close my eyes and I wait for the come down. I used to live in the now. Now I'm wiser to think that we are bulletproof. Teens with thicker skin, now we just bruise. We were hopeless and we're hopeless now. But I remember we threw our fists in the air, singing. I remember when we were kids, never scared, yeah. And the sky went dark, we used our hearts to guide us. You showed me you care, and I remember, yeah, I remember. Now, but I remember we threw our fists in the air, singing. I remember when we were kids, never scared, yeah. And the sky went dark, we used our hearts to guide us. You showed me you care, and I remember, yeah, I remember.
Good evening, Rocket League fans. Welcome back to the MCS. I'm McMaster. Joined alongside me tonight is Nightfang. Nightfang, how you doing tonight, my man?
Not too bad. How about you?
Doing fantastic. We have a great matchup to lead things off. Coming out of the Rising Stars division, the number 1 seed Bloomington Maulers. You guys all know them because they've been mauling the division thus far. Going up against the Minneapolis Miracles should be a great matchup here to start things out. Plenty of games for you, so obviously when this one is done, don't go anywhere because there's plenty of action to go through the entire night. This is obviously going to be an incredible matchup. Thoughts on the two teams coming into this one?
Right now, my standpoint is Bloomington's going to destroy them. From their record alone, is 9-2 compared to Miracles, which is 6-4. Plus, they also won the major. You got to give them props to that.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, absolutely correct. Not just that, but the Miracles are coming off of a tough loss as well. Last week, dropping 0-3. They swept Kansas City, which is good, but then they dropped a complete sweep to Derecho as well. So a bit of a struggle recently for the Minneapolis Miracles. While on the side of Bloomington, there has been all gas and no brakes. These guys look dang near unstoppable, as you said. 9-2, top of the entire league right now. Got the major under their belt, looking to carry the momentum into the rest of the season. Chicago Jungle are very close to them currently. The Burnsville Inferno also right hot on their tail. Both those two teams only with 2 losses as well, so it is very competitive at the top. However, the Maulers just seem to be that level above. The Miracles are trying to break their way on in, and a win here would be massive for them.
It will be. And they would be tied roughly around second and third. And if they can get both wins this week, it's going to be so close to getting top 4 to make it to land, since you have that kind of that safety net this year in the tournament.
Absolutely, but at least the Miracles do find themselves in a pretty good seeding, but unfortunately they are facing juggernauts. Honestly enough, it is a bit brutal. When it comes to the rest of the lineup for tonight, though, the Outlaws will face the Flyers, the Inferno take on the Superiors, and then to close things out later in the evening, the Lumberjacks will take on the Rhythm. Incredible set of matches coming up. All starting off with 2 very high-seeded teams. I mean, again, out of the 16, first and sixth, you're looking at the upper part of the bracket. These 2 teams are both jostling for position heading into major number 2. It's just a matter of finding out who exactly that team is going to be. Right now, it looks like the Maulers, but anything can happen in MCS, so I'm not going to put it past the Miracles to upset the Maulers.
That's for sure. Again, they didn't do bad at the major at all. They got in top 5 and lost in the semifinal.
Yeah, absolutely correct. But what I do know for sure is that the players are just about ready. Everyone has joined the lobby. The players are joining their teams, Maulers and Miracles. Leading us off tonight should be a fantastic matchup between the, again, number 1 and number 6 seeded teams. On the side of the Maulers, we have ourselves Lumity, Slife Dog, and Jaws. While in the Miracles, we have Blue, Hadron, and Ryuji, I believe. I'm going to struggle a little bit with that name, but that is okay. Right off kickoff, it's going to be Jaws taking it towards the side. We're looking for an extra touch to pass in the field. Not going to happen. Quick early offense for the Maulers. Just going to try to break through and establish themselves early.
Ooh. Right now, since kickoff, they had all the pressure, and the Miracles are just struggling to maintain the defense right now.
It's going to be Slife Dog setting it up into the corner. Not much boost in the tank. Blue's going to clear it out towards the midfield line. A little bit dangerous, but no one's in position right now for the Maulers to capitalize on that opportunity. Hadron following into the corner. Ryuji up next, 50 high up towards the ceiling. It'll be Slife Dog taking it into the corner. Jaws to maintain possession. Now bringing it back downfield. Hadron low on boost, has a light touch. Attempted demo comes through. Shot on target, saved on the goal line by Blue.
Right now, they're just exchanging. They're playing safe, trying to figure out how they want to play against each other tonight, and they just keep switching back and forth on offense and defense.
Lumity up in the air. Looking for any possible opportunity, trying to create something for his teammate. Slife Dog doesn't have the touch. It'll be Jaws to turn back on the ball, cutting off rotations. Has the ball in the air with some boost to work with. 50 pops up in the middle of the field. Slife Dog up, beats Ryuji to the ball. Blue will have to take it as Hadron is able to take Jaws off the field of play, but Lumini is still maintaining possession. Sent across. Hadron's got no more boost. Jaws is up early. Off the backboard it goes. Shot opportunity now. Slife Dog, it's a light touch. Blue's going to be able to cover the net, but Lumini is once again not letting up. Hitting it out off the back wall in search of a teammate by Ryuji is going to get the clear past midfield. Now be Jaws right in front of his net. It's very tricky. Ryuji's actually going to bury it off the 50. Extremely odd defensive possession here. Jaws simply turned around. Lumini let him have it, but Ryuji gave him no space to breathe. That dunk comes through, and the Miracles find themselves on top here early in game number 1. Great goal to start things out for the Miracles. It's not anything that required, an absurd amount of skill, but the 50 has got to feel good. Getting some early momentum against the top dogs of this division, but Lumini's got to get it right back. Blue with a great goal line save to maintain the lead. Mahler's knocking at the door right now here on offense. Blue trying to deal with it. 50 up high by Slife Dog. Waiting in the wings of the rest of his teammates, though. Slife's going to pop it up in the air. Hadron follows it. Extra touch for him is unavailable. Lumini will send it towards the sidewall, but it's Blue to take control. Boosting the tank as well. In search of an extra touch, he 50s it very neutrally against Lumini, and then 50s Jaws. It'll be sent over into the corner. And Knifing, what is it you're seeing right now from the Maulers? Miracles seem to have their number, oddly enough.
Right now, the Bloomingtons are they're struggling right now trying to get an offense because the Miracles are just constantly on them. Oh, they might have an offense here. Again, just anytime they get close to the box, it's just completely stopped by the Miracle.
Yeah, the defense has been nothing short of incredible thus far. Ryuji's going to get it clear. Slife Dog is cutting it off at the midfield line, but we're under the halfway point of this game. And though there's been a lot of possession on the side of the Maulers, they have not been able to break through the stalwart defense that is being put up currently by the Miracles. It's Hadron with a shot towards net, not quite on target. And that's Slife Dog getting the clear up high and away. Blue, touch towards the sidewall. Lumini, first to it. Extra touch off the sidewall, searching for a teammate, but an extra teammate committed and was not waiting on the pass. Ryuji had control of the ball till Slife Dog takes him off the field of play. Only 90 seconds remaining. Jaws, 50 high, off the ceiling. Lumini waiting, but doesn't have the touch, and Hadron's going to get a crucial clear. Extremely close, but still no cigar.
This could...
Hadron now sending it back in, trying to get another crucial goal to double this lead. No matter who scores next, it is going to be massive. Either we're looking at a 2-goal lead for the Miracles, or we're looking at a tied ball game as we approach the 60-second mark. Blue and Hadron double commit, but Ryuji is there waiting in the wings. Lumini's got no more boost than tank. It's got to be left for a teammate. Slife Dog not there in time. Shot on target. Finds its way to the back of the net. Ryuji has 2, and the Miracles are doubling their lead.
And with the time ticking down like that, it just added pressure and pressure. Then they just lost control of the ball and gave up a goal on that.
That is a massive goal. The Maulers, who come into this series a massive favorite, find themselves down 2 with only 40 seconds remaining. They have to get something on net, and they have to get it quickly. Jaws has a shot, but it's not quite on target. Lumini created an opportunity, but no shot was available for his teammate. Now, bumps coming through. Lumini has a shot on net. The lead is cut in half, and the Maulers are within striking distance.
And once they start aiming and getting the demos, it left so much room open for the Bloomington to get on an offense.
Honestly, that might be a key concept for them to establish throughout the rest of this series. The physical plays, hunting for those demos. The defense has been so strong that you almost have no choice but to remove defenders from the field of play, and that's going to be how you have to come back in this game. Under 20 seconds, 2-1 the score line. But the Maulers aren't going away. Pass from Jaws infield towards Slife Dog, but cut off by Blue. Demo comes through from Slife Dog. Hit towards the backboard. Ryuji has an extra touch. And now Jaws off the corner wall. Slife Dog in the air. 1 touch. Stopping in the midfield line. It's going to have to be done with 0 seconds left. Off the floor. Miracles scrape away with game number 1.
They had it right there. And just couldn't get it on target right there. It just hit the crossbar. As you could tell,
Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead,
as
my
you
man.
could tell, Mahler started to pick up their offense and got 6 goals from the top 2 and 4 compared to their 1, 3, and 1. If they just fix up their rotations and mistakes, I think Bloomington might have a higher chance of getting goals on target compared to the Miracles right now.
I mean, yeah, the big storyline of that game was absolutely the defense played by the Miracles. I mean, 7 saves in total. They were outshot 12-5, yet still walk away with the win here in game number 1. It's an incredible showing for the Miracles. It's got to be a massive confidence booster. Again, they're coming off of an 0-3 series in their last matchup. Now they have to face the 1 seed, and they've already taken a game off of them. That is a great step towards taking a win here in this very crucial matchup leading up towards the next major. What do Maulers exactly have to do in order to lock back in and try to take game number 2 off Miracles?
If they continue and take out the demo, since their defense is so high and so strong right now, just taking out a player, getting a salt and bump, or taking a boost from third man will create so much space for the Bloomington to penetrate their defense, hopefully.
I absolutely agree. Those physical plays are crucial. But Ryuji's looking for a double here early. It's off the backboard. Slife Dog's awkward in front of net. Lumini's able to get it clear, and now it's an open net as long as he has the pace to get it by Ryuji, but he does it. Ryuji with the extra hustle, able to get back in time. Slife Dog not letting up. It's blue to clear, and Ryuji's able to collect boost as well. Back and forth real early here in game number 1, but Lumini's full field clear off the demo from Slife Dog will give the Maulers their first lead of the series.
And with them heavily relying on that third man to get those clears and stuff, taking the third man out, completely wide open their backfield. But if Miracles need to change, they need to start controlling the ball just a little bit more, where they have to cause the Bloomington to force them out of the goal. Oh, double tap.
It was an extremely close opportunity. Ryuji's going to try to follow this ball as Jaws resets his offense all the way back in his own corner, trying to bring it across his net. It'll be Lumity next to challenge. Far into the corner, Blue taking his time, has boost to work within the tank, and takes a low 50 as well, but it's Slife Dog on the follow. Hadron's able to get a full clear, and now has a bit of boost in the tank to work with to try to create some offense for his team. High off the ceiling it goes. Touch from Blue towards net, not quite on target. Shots coming through, but not quite with the accuracy that is desired right now for the Miracles to fight back into this game. Now, it's extremely early. They have plenty of time remaining, but you cannot allow the Maulers any form of confidence, and they started getting it back. Now that they see the physical plays are working, I expect them to be going for those the entire rest of the series.
Yep. And with Miracle starting to pick up their offense now, Bloomington's aren't having a chance to score, and once they correct their rotation and stuff, it should be a harder game for both teams to score. What's your standpoint on the Miracles needing to at least get a goal or bumps, demos, passing plays? What's your perspective on that?
I think passing plays will be good. I think that right there, physical plays as well, start returning fire a little bit. You can't allow one team to be physical with you and then not send it back their way. Otherwise, it's just going to be a one-way street the entire series. So I would like to see some physical plays start to come through from the Miracles. But at the same time, look for these little breakout plays out of defense. When you're looking for these full field clears, look for someone to pass to on the clears. Don't just make a lazy, hit on the ball to send it downfield. Look for those teammates. Try to link up and try to play as a unit, because individual plays, I don't believe individual plays are what's going to win them the game. I believe physical plays and passing plays are what are going to bring the Miracles back into this series.
Undoubtedly, because Blue with a read off of the waterfall, off of the 50, phenomenal play by him.
I guess he just made me eat my words immediately. That's a solo play. Blue's making me look bad, but hey, Miracles will take it. Just as we approach the halfway point, one each immediately. Just a great play and a great read, just as you said, off the waterfall. It's a fantastic read from Blue to get back into it as Slife Dog has to reset on his back line. And now with a little bit of boost in the tank, trying to bring it out towards Lumity. It'll be Blue to send over towards the sidewall. He has a little boost in the tank, but has enough to try to set up a teammate. It's downfield. Joss has one touch into the corner. It's light. Slife Dog will hit it up high and away. Ryuji looking for a teammate in field. Pass
Bottom right. Let's go.
That is a beautiful play, and that is the passing plays that they need to be in search of. Ryuji perfectly placed right to Blue. The players on the side of the Maulers had no idea he was there, and now the Miracles have reclaimed the lead. 2 goals in 22 seconds.
Coming in 2 minutes right now, Bloomington got to figure out how to get their offense back up starting, because they just let go of 2 goals back to back, literally in a couple seconds.
Yeah, it was way too quick, and they need to start getting momentum back. With Sleeve Dog, 2 demos, bringing that physical play back, but Blue spawns in the perfect spot to challenge early, and he's going to bring it back downfield. Lumini goes for a challenge, but the 50 is high and away. Hadron shot towards net. Sleeve Dog with a clear, but only as far as Hadron, as he gets another block towards the back line. Right now, the offense from Miracles is simply too fast for the Maulers. The ball's over the head of Lumini. Blue on the challenge. Jaws able to clear it out wide, but he's the only defender left, and Hadron is now going to send it off the backboard. Right now, they're peppering the backboard, looking for passing lanes at all costs, trying to extend their lead to 2. The Maulers being stuck on defense, though, have no opportunities to score at the moment. They have to break out here soon.
And with Miracles constantly shooting down target after target, they have to respect. Oh, here's a chance for Bloomington. Let's go. There we go. Tied game. Minute left. See what we can do.
Sleeve Dog got that boost at just the right time over the top of Hadron, and Blue unfortunately cannot get back in time. Tied ball game, 1 single minute remaining. This is anyone's ball game. If the Miracles can somehow walk away with this game, they'll be up on they'll be on match point, triple match point, with potential for a sweep against the #1 seed. But Lumini's not going to let that happen. He puts it top bins and reclaims the lead once again for the Maulers.
And right again, 9 seconds. Didn't take Bloomington at all. Again, Miracles can do the same thing. You've seen it done. Let's see what the Miracles can do in this coming kickoff.
Right off kickoff, Lumini, plenty of boost to work with in the tank, looking for a bit of a solo play. Over 1, looking for a pass. There's a drop down front for Jaws, but he's unable to challenge, and now Blue brings it all the way back downfield. 50 away by Jaws. Ryuji taking his time over the top of 1, off the bar and post, and not quite in. Still, the Miracles are in search of another goal.
And with the time ticking down, it's getting harder and harder to keep that composure for them. And with the boost and them physical play that Bloomington's bringing out, it's going to eventually cause problems. But here's a chance from Blue. Making it in a goal. Bottom right. Let's go, Blue.
This is absolute insanity. Perfect pop-up from Ryuji. Blue putting it with perfect placement into the bottom right behind Jaws. And would you believe it? 10 seconds left, and we have a tied ball game once again. Gonna be an interesting final 10 seconds off kickoff. It's neutral. Hadron to take control, and now Blue following it up towards the backboard in search of a pass. It's infield. Ryuji and Hadron in the same spot. Lumini challenging early, trying to keep it up, but he cannot do so. Overtime here in game number 2.
And you've seen it. They might get a kickoff goal right here. You've seen it back to back. Both teams can do it. But since it's within the kickoff already, there still might have a chance for Blue to score. Unfortunate hit crossbar. Again, Miracles on their constant offense right now.
Now Sleeve Dog, he's unable to get a touch. Blue simply pops up in the midfield line. It's Hadron to bring back into the corner. Jaws taking his time, but will pay for his actions as he's demoed off the field by Hadron. Pop over the top by Blue. Shot saved out wide by Sleeve Dog. And now Hadron to turn around once again. Jaws setting up towards the side wall. No more boost in the tank, but collects that mid boost. Touches under Ryuji, but he still gets a clear along with Sleeve Dog. Lumini has an extra touch into the corner. Blue taking his time. Popped up high and away. Still has boost in the tank. Looking for an extra touch. Doesn't have it. Sleeve Dog cutting it off. And now the aggression starting to show from the Maulers. High off the backboard it goes. Hadron doesn't have a read. Lumini does. It's off the backboard, but kept in the corner. Defense still scrambling to try to get the ball out. Jaws with the demo on 1. Sleeve Dog popped up high towards the ceiling. It doesn't hit the ceiling though, and it'll go over the net. Lumini has a follow regardless of the placement of the ball, and the Maulers tie up the series.
And with those bumps coming in from Bloomington, messing up the third man, getting messed up, trying to touch the ball, created so much space in midfield.
What an incredible game. A very close one at that. And this series has been effectively made a best of 3. Shot count's a little bit closer. That game being 10-8. Maulers barely in favor that time when it comes to the stat sheet. But honestly, the big thing that stuck out to me was the fact that the Miracles are still keeping up extremely well. The Maulers have had to scratch and claw their way into that game multiple times over. This is an incredible matchup, and honestly, it could go either team's way.
Yeah, after those kickoff goals back to back within a matter of seconds, it could go either way, just like you said.
Yeah, that was fantastic showing from both teams. Maulers now with a little bit of momentum on their side, able to take game number 2 off the Miracles. It went to overtime, though. It was definitely not without its fair share of drama and close calls, both on offense and defense for both teams. But now straight off kickoff, it'll be Jaws on the sidewall, boosting the tank, trying to find a teammate in midfield. It's actually Hadron waiting in the wings instead, and the Sleep Dog is going to demo Blue. Leaves an opportunity for Lumity, but he's beat to the ball by Ryuji, and Jaws is going to reset back on his own half. Now, we go into this game, and what do you think are the big things both teams really need to hone in on to try to steal away this series?
Miracles, they need to try to maintain their boost, not let their third man get bumped after Lumiton just double commit and bumping third man on Miracles. But the Bloomington needs to get software controls, get it where they can have a passing play opportunity, and that's what I think. What's your standpoint?
Honestly, for the Maulers, get back to those physical plays. They've shown to be very effective thus far throughout the course of the series. They've been able to land demos basically whenever it is that they please. And for the side of the Miracles, search for those team plays again. It showed great levels of success earlier. It was one of the goals that they had scored within that 22-second period near the midway mark of that game. So offensively, that's what those two teams need to do. On defense, honestly, keep the pace up if you are the Miracles, and if you are the Maulers, you need to try to eliminate any and all passing lanes. Those are, in my opinion, are the keys. As Sleep Dog looks for those physical plays, he does get the demo, but Lumity was not expecting that to happen. And now the pass in the air, Lumity's already air shot, double save from Blue and from Hadron. Sleep Dog to maintain possession. Blue and Hadron under fire still. Another demo comes through. Infield pass over towards Lumity. It's going to be cleared out wide by the members of the Miracles.
And with Miracles getting demoed and stuff, their defense is holding out real strong with Bloomington's offense. Here's a chance for the Miracles to get a goal.
Multiple opportunities now being developed by the Maulers. It's cleared up high by Ryuji. It's Lumity who wins the 50, though. It's sent over towards the backboard. Hadron doesn't have a touch. Sleep Dog is able to have it in front, but his shot hits the post. Extremely close opportunity to double the lead, but it's unsuccessful. Lumity trying to bring it back in front anyways. Blue cuts it off, but only as far as Jaws. Jaws doesn't have an extra touch, unfortunately. It'd be Blue to take it up high once again. Sleep Dog towards the midfield line. Hadron to set it back down to the orange half, but that's as far as that offensive possession will go, as it's 50 away, and the Maulers are able to deal with that immediately. Right now, the Miracles have to create offense. They can't just dump and chase.
And with getting that physical play on the Miracles, they have to respect the bumps coming in, have to have a third eye, so their attention could be, again, sidetracked or out of positioning because of that physical play. But again, with all that, the Miracles are doing a phenomenal job putting on the pressure, having a chance on goal, and Bloomingtons are able to still hold it out too.
It almost seems as though is when they hit the midway point of the game, it's when they decide to turn it on. So much offensive pressure over that last 30 seconds or so. Ryuji gets the extra touch. Blue was waiting in the wings. He will patiently send it on through to the back of the net. Another tied ball game. 1-1, 2:19 remaining. Kickoff heading over towards the orange half. It's Ryuji waiting his time, looking to take control of the ball. It's an extra touch from Lumity now. He's bumped down towards the ground, and now Blue pops over the top, but he's bumped off of the ball, and Jaws has a little bit of space to work with. Set up high. Hadron sending it back downfield. Lumity now to take control. It's an awkward touch now towards the backboard. He's bumped off the ball. Ryuji on the follow. Miracles 2-1.
And just like you said, the physical plays are coming in late, and they're panicking because they know the players coming for them, and they just panic, lose ball control on both sides on teams.
That is a brutal goal for the Maulers to give up all over for the Miracles. You absolutely love it. You've been bumped around this entire series. You've been demo chased. It's got to feel good to return fire and give the Maulers a taste of their own medicine. However, you cannot still count the Maulers out. There is plenty of time remaining on the clock. They're starting to send all units upfield, and they kind of have to at some point in time. The defense from the Miracles has been so strong. It's hard not to do so. The save is extremely close from Jaws, but he does get it out of harm's way. And now Blue leaving it for a teammate. It's Ryuji taking control. Sends it up over the top of Jaws. Only Lumity on defense. Shot going towards the backboard. No passes available. Lumity with a light touch and another 50 away. Blue, extra touch in the corner. One more, not available. Jaws is not going to be able to take it either. He doesn't have to boost a challenge. Follow from Ryuji. Shot off the post. Sleepdog to take control and get it away as we approach the final 60.
And just like you said, they're getting their own taste of medicine. Maybe they haven't had a playstyle like this they faced yet, and they're struggling right now. It's only been the Miracles offense for this past good minutes from the kickoff. And again, you said they have to throw all man downfield, but with that, third man might overpush, cause something to have the chance. They had the chance to make an open goal a couple times, but unfortunately they couldn't do it.
I mean, yeah, that is the risk they have to assume at this point in time. Now that we're approaching the final 30 seconds, there isn't much of a choice. This team has a Sleepdog finds Lumity on the infield pass, but it goes off the post. Golden opportunity gone by the wayside. Now Sleepdog trying to take control himself. Popped up over the top of one. No bump is available. Ryuji has a touch. Jaws is searching for something else. Lumity up in the air. 50 kept extremely neutral. Final 15. Hadron clear towards the sidewall. Jaws in the air with control and boost to work with. 50's Blue. It's in front of net. A double commit though makes the position extremely awkward for the Maulers. Ryuji gets it clear. It's gonna have to be done in the air, and it will not. It drops. Miracles go on to match point.
And at that very end, they had 3 opportunities. One, unfortunately, hit crossbar. The other one just could not get a touch on it. And that third one with that double commit, if they just got that 50 off that double commit, the third mid might have the chance. So in coming in this match point game, what do you think the Maulers need to change, adjust, or be more physical, you think? What's your thing?
Now I think the quality of their offensive opportunities needs to sharpen up a little bit because they've outshot the Miracles in every game thus far. However, the number of opportunities does not matter as much if the quality is not there. So they've had a bunch of shots where, it's been routine saves for the defense and they can simply knock it away as if it's just any other day in the office. Mm-hmm. However, the Maulers need to, instead of just peppering the net, start finding those passing lanes. They had a couple really close opportunities to close that game. It's just the shooting accuracy was a little bit off and they weren't able to capitalize. I say keep looking for those passing plays. Maybe if you find yourself in a 2-on-1, then search for the demo. But until then, look to increase the quality of your opportunity. Don't force a shot. Find a better shot instead.
And I 100% agree with you there with Bloomington. Miracles, on the other hand, they are doing their same play against Bloomington. Their demo play, physical style, steal the boost, look for a pass mid, literally identical play. Just Miracles are able to perform a lot more efficient at this time.
Yeah, you're absolutely correct. The level of execution has been there for the Miracles, while for the Maulers, it just hasn't quite been as present. Jaws brings over towards the sidewall. He's trying to start something, but it's Hadron to cut off in midfield. Lumity now downfield. Only one man back to beat, and it's Blue. He's bumped off the ball. Sleepdog has a passing opportunity. Centered out in front. Jaws on the follow. Saved away by Hadron once again. And it's just the defense of Miracles has been nothing short of astounding this entire series. It is so difficult to beat them. They seem to always have the right read, and now they're even demoing the third man. Off the spawn comes Jaws. He spawns on the correct side, and he's able to get that effective clear.
And with Miracles having such a strong defense, they're just been struggling for the Bloomington to even get a goal. Or, again, they just double commit. They're panicking because, again, their defense is so strong, they don't know what to do at the moment because they tried physical attacks, demos, boost stealing. Nothing works for them. Only time they can do it is when they made a mistake.
Yeah, honestly, you're quite correct. That's quite an interesting thing I hadn't thought about was the fact that the offense thus far from the Maulers has been basically, whatever they've been able to find has been a Miracles mistake, not necessarily an opportunity created by the Maulers organically. So it's an interesting thought. The question is, how do you induce more of those mistakes? This defense has been so solid the entire game. Do you try to get physical like that? Do you try to start giving your opponent different looks? Because right now, whatever it is, it seems to not be working. They need a different course of action on offense, and that might be it. An incredible save on the goal line, Hadron. Are you kidding me?
He had no boost. His second man got bumped, so he was dead on the water. Jumped, dodged him, and able to recover for another save off of that. Plus, again, they're back on the counter, low on boost, starving again, but very efficient on the play. Nothing, no man double committing very much. They're just playing a perfect game right now against Bloomington.
And that's another thing you've seen less from the Miracles and more from the Maulers have been those crucial double commits. They seem to be coming out in number at least a little bit more this game than in the past, but they still have been more present for them than they have been for the Miracles. Miracles have been the better cohesive unit, if you will, but Slife is going to try to change that. It's out in front for Jaws. Shot on target. Unsavable this time for Blue. Maulers have a lead. The question is, can they maintain it?
And with Bloomington going for that demo, or that bump play, Blue had to respect it, so he had to slow down, causing him to jump and not have no speed to get up that save that was straight down the goal line.
Absolutely agree. It was a great idea, great concept, and executed on to perfection. But again, Miracles, they've been in this position not just before now, but in this series nonetheless. They're not concerned about being down because they've been able to fight back every time thus far. The question is, will they, and how soon, if that were to happen? It's hit the halfway point. This is typically where the Miracles start to turn things on. However, with the attempted bump plays, the defense does look a little bit awkward. A demo even comes through. Hadron challenged early. Shot going towards net, not quite on target. Kept in front by Sleepdog. Ryuji able to 58 away from Lumity. However, the Maulers right now have an unbelievable amount of pressure that's being applied to the defense of the Miracles. Ryuji's awkward on the backboard, but he sends it over towards Hadron. Jaws challenging early, beat to the ball. Lumity keeping it in the orange half of the field. And honestly, the Maulers offense might be their best defense. If they just keep it in the orange half, ball's never going to see the light of day in order for the Miracles to create any offense.
That is for sure. Guarantee you on that. The problem is rotations. They have to get boosts and everything else. And with 50s, oh, here's a chance for Bloomington. Unfortunately, they got a save.
Final minute 15, last 75 seconds. Hadron trying to be the spark that ignites the offense here for the Miracles. Off the corner while he goes. Lumity clearing across, read by Ryuji, but no shot is available. And now Sleepdog has boost in the tank, and Lumity has targets in his sights. Hadron is able to get the clear even while being demo chased. Now Ryuji up early. Has boost to work with. Sleepdog taking Blue off the field. Ryuji still carrying it down in the blue half. He doesn't care who's alive and who's dead. What he's trying to do is create offense. The question is, can he? Not much time is remaining. Blue with a great save in front of net, and Hadron's able to get it clear. Possible transition opportunity cut off by Sleepdog once again. Very minimal time remaining. Miracles have to get something.
And with time ticking down, Miracles might do a double commit. It's just right here. And luckily, they were able to recover, get the ball. But again, the physical plays are coming in. You gotta respect the physical plays. And with Bloomington scoring that, 22 seconds away, this might be game. And we might go to game 5.
I absolutely agree. It looks like we're going to be sat in Champions Field to close things out 2-0. I mean, I'm not going to count out the Miracles just yet. 22 seconds is still enough time, but they have to make it happen immediately. Ryuji's going to be challenging early, gets the extra touch, it's towards net. Lumity gets the full clear. A goal has to be scored with time remaining if the Miracles want a shot at taking it here in game number 4. Blue with the extra touch off the corner. It's not enough to set up a team. Oh, I lied. It is more than enough to set up Ryuji. Excuse me. And 4 seconds, this is not impossible. It absolutely could happen. I'm not saying it necessarily will, but there is more than enough time for this to go to OT.
And we've seen it done in game 3. Tied it up in 4 seconds.
I goes the kickoff, cleared out wide by Ryuji. Hadron's going to have to keep it up, but he's unable to do so. Game 5, Champions Field. Maulers are able to force it in a shutout. First time they've limited, or oh my bad, not a shutout. I forgot Miracles got that one goal right at the end. Excuse me. That is entirely on me. But it's interesting to look at the shot Again, the Maulers have had the advantage in shot counts throughout the course of the entire series. This time being 6 to just 1. The only one being that goal from Ryuji with 4 seconds remaining in the game. But the Miracles weren't able to break out of their own half seemingly at all throughout that game.
And with Maulers doing that physical play, stopping their offense from even starting, because once the Miracles offense get running, it's hard to stop. As you see in game 1 and 3, they just completely dominated on the shots compared to the Bloomington.
Is going to be an incredible game number 5. It really is anyone's series. The number 1 seed Maulers trying to maintain that unbelievable reputation they built for themselves, while the Miracles are trying to pull off a namesake miracle here and upset the top team in the Rising Stars division. It's an incredible matchup. Shot from Jaws, saved up high by Blue. Still maintained in the corner. Lumini to challenge early. He's beat to the ball, and now Blue and Slife Dog race to it. Sleep Dog up in the air. Ryuji's going to get it clear. Over towards Jaws. He'll send it out towards the right sidewall. Up in the air, looking for an extra touch for a pass. 2 players, however, in the corner for Maulers, and that is immediately going to stall out the offense.
And with having the no longer going for demo plays recently, their passing plays and offense potential has been skyrocketed. For instance, a chance right here. Unfortunately, no one's mid for the Miracle. Again, Lumiton and all of them are doing the same thing. They haven't gone for much demos. They're focusing on just rotation, not risking anything. Again, it's game 5. Here's a potential by Blue with a pinch. Unfortunate hit the cross. Ryu coming on for the save, for the cleanup.
I mean, that was just an incredible ground pinch from Blue. He might be kicking himself that it didn't go in on its own as it rolled off the post and the bar, but no need to fear. Ryuji is here, and he's here to try to take the dub. Perfect follow-up as he's able to get a lead for the Miracles. Now it's the Maulers who find themselves on the back foot once again. These two teams have alternated games throughout the course of the whole series. Game 1, Miracles. 2, Maulers. 3, Miracles. And then 4, Maulers once again. Assuming we follow the pattern, this is going to be the Miracles series, and right now it looks like it will be. They're up 1-0. Granted, it is very early in this game, and there's plenty of time for the Maulers to fight back. However, they got to stop with these double commits. They need to communicate clearly, and they have to start rebuilding their offense once again because it has slowed, especially compared to what it was like last game.
Yeah, and with those demos, and they're trying to fully extend, because again, it's on and off. So it's physical, or not physical, psychological, knowing, hey, if they got a goal from the start, most likely they can take the win. And here's the 50 off to mid. Unfortunately, the Miracles can't get it, but Ryu, again, just staying on offense.
Shot going towards net once again by Blue. Hadron on the follow. No one is back for the Maulers. Miracles are up 2-0, and they're making it look like last game was a fluke. Their offense is on fire right now. They're simply moving too fast for the Maulers. And now we have ourselves a very interesting game. 2-0 for the Miracles. Maulers have got to get something, and they've got to get it quick, because this game is very quickly slipping out of their fingertips.
And how quickly the Miracles can get their offense running from just demos and bumps, it's going to be a hard time for the Bloomington to even get anything started if they just keep on performing plays like this. Unfortunate hit the crossbar.
Close opportunity. Another one goes off the post. So many opportunities. The offense this game from the Miracles, this doesn't even look like the same team we just watched last game. This has been an incredible showing, and we're approaching the 2-minute mark. And last game, Maulers didn't let Miracles leave their half at all. This game, it is the complete opposite. The Maulers are the ones who seem to be barely able to break out. They finally have one possession, and then immediately it's sent back into the blue half. Even a team bump coming through. They look disorganized, discombobulated, and honestly, they look just outpaced right now. They have to change something. This might be the time to change it, but Blue has a great read as the shot rains in off the post. Still, the Maulers are in search of their first.
And again, here comes the Miracles. Phenomenal. Right when I start talking good about the defense. Of course.
Hey, but that's just how it goes. Caster curses everywhere. It doesn't matter who you are or what your experience is. It is everywhere. It is ever present. as are the Maulers. They're able to get their first onto the board thanks to Sleep Dog burying it away on the bouncer. Now the work is cut out for them. One goal to get, and we have ourselves a tied ball game. The only problem is there is only 90 seconds remaining, and the Miracles still have been playing very strong. They still have the lead. Something's going to have to change. Dawes has a timely clear, and now with boost, Slife Dog looking to make it 2 for himself. On the reset, drops down, cleared out wide by Hadron. Lumini maintaining possession. Ryuji setting up towards the sidewall, and now Sleep Dog once again in search of those physical plays.
And again, they know that time's ticking down. They're starting to panic, double committing, getting close. Again, they're running low on boost. Miracles right now, it's their ball game. Full boost, have all ball control. Right now, Bloomington's at their mercy. If they make one mistake, it could be the game for them.
Absolutely, and Blue is trying to just make something happen, trying to extend that lead. Once again, this is a huge opportunity. It falls on through. Hadron's second is the team's third. That might just be the dagger. At 50 straight off the ceiling, right in front of the net. Lumini cannot get there in time. Miracles are on the verge of an upset.
And was it Miracles playing with a sub today? Or who was it that was playing with a sub today? Do you remember?
You're absolutely correct. It is the Miracles. You are correct. It is the Miracles who are playing with the sub today, but man, they do not look like it. This has been an incredible showing. It trickles on through. Hadron, the hat trick hero, is credited with his third, and that certainly marks the end of what has been an incredible series, and the Miracles will pick up a giant win here in week number 5.
Again, facing against the #1 team and taking it all, this is going to be a huge confidence boost in them coming up into Major 2. Because every team trying to get in the top 8, top 4, you get that extra life for land. So, coming this, phenomenal boost coming to Major 2.
Absolutely. Couldn't have said it better. I mean, this is just giant for the Miracles. Not only are they going to likely move up the standings, but it shakes things up at the top as well, because there were 2 teams waiting to see whether or not the Maulers would face a little bit of a downfall, who are sitting at 8-2 apiece. And now that this loss has occurred, I mean, that is just giant for everyone really within the top 6. The Miracles likely to move up, the Maulers likely to move down, and it is an incredible upset. GGs are well and truly in order as the Miracles swipe away a series from the top team in the Rising Stars division.
And phenomenal. With, again, their saves, defense, shots. The Miracles just had that whole time on their own offense. They just had the full control over the game.
Yeah, it was an incredible showing. I mean, I'm looking at the stats right now, and that is the first and only game the Miracles led in shooting. 13-5 being the shot counts. An absolutely one-sided slaughter there in the final game. If you looked at Game 5 alone, you wouldn't have thought this went the whole distance. It was an extremely competitive series all along, but yet it is the Miracles with a sub that take a series off the #1 seed. Final thoughts on how that one shook out, Night Fang?
Completely not what I predicted at the start. I thought Bloomington was going to completely sweep them just by the record, just record alone. But again, Caster's curse said something, completely got turned around. What's your thoughts about this game?
I mean, call it record, call it reputation, call it what you will. That was a 9-2 team coming off of a major win. And that was the Miracles, who were coming off of an 0-3 loss in their previous series. I mean, everything surrounding it, all the context surrounding this series said that should be the Maulers series to lose. And ultimately, it was theirs to lose. Miracles come through. They take it in the end in what was an impeccable series. But those of you who are watching, do not go anywhere. Plenty of action still remaining throughout the course of tonight. 3 more series still coming at you. I've been McMaster. This has been Night Fang, and we will see you very shortly. Don't go anywhere.
Play yourself, don't play me. Mars, Wolf, Vicstar, Jamie. Don't be confused, that's my G. Turn it up too, it's setting them free. Gas like who? Gas like me. Everybody push up your flashlights, please. You thought you knew, but wait and see. You don't know me. You don't know me better. You don't know me better.
wish we stayed the same. I got way too many thoughts in my brain, but I got memories that run through my veins. I'm not one to blame, but I could point out every way that you changed. Some things stay up while others go right down the drain. And lately we've been going down in flames. But if I'm honest, I get in my feels when I want you. Say you feel it too, I'll haunt you. Hold on till I'm lost in nirvana. But if I'm honest, I get in my feels when I want you. Say you feel it too, I'll haunt you. Hold on till I'm lost in nirvana. But if I'm my therapist is saying that I should. I don't believe it, but I really wish I could. Instead, I guess I'll stay misunderstood. Oh, 'cause I'm stuck now, just trying to figure a way out. I've tried but can't seem to slow down. I don't know if I want to. But if I'm honest, I get in my feels when I want you. Say you feel it too, I'll haunt you. Hold on till I'm lost in nirvana. But if I'm honest, I get in my feels when I want you. Say you feel it too, I'll haunt you. Hold on till I'm lost in nirvana. But if I'm can't seem to slow down, and I don't know if I want to.
Take it too far to say that we cannot pretend now. Was it never enough to have just everything you want? In your shadow I found a place to hide me from my own thoughts. And if I ever got lost, you'll find a way to bring me home. And
You thought I was gone, but I am back, and I have not actually gone anywhere. Instead, Nightfang has dipped out of the booth for the time being, and I, McMaster, am now joined by V15. Welcome to the casting booth, my man. What's going on?
Yeah, thanks, McMaster. Yeah, I'm ready for the second series of Rising Star. Back with some Rising Star stream action. What's better than that? I'm a big fan of the Rising Star game, so... And given how these teams' track record is, two teams who might be on polar opposites of how the standings are looking, but are showing signs of questionability, especially with this Outlaws side. So I think it will be a tough matchup between the two of them.
It's interesting to see how this one is going to go because, I mean, we just saw an extremely interesting and quite honestly shocking series, last series between the number 1 seed, top of the top Maulers, getting beat by the Miracles, who were sat at the 5 seed, if I remember correctly. No, the 4 seed, excuse me. So, I mean, well, my bad. They were 6th, moved up to 4th because we've already updated standings, and I'm behind the live updates, apparently. So, regardless, it was an upset in terms of the standings. Maulers didn't look like themselves, while the Miracles played out of their mind with a sub. Incredible showing from the Miracles. They're still 6 on the screen right here, but we'll have, when they're updated, they'll be in 4th, assuming the Kansas City Outlaws don't end up doing something crazy. But regardless, it's a huge upset, and honestly, anything can happen. In this upcoming matchup, we have now the 6th seed Kansas City Outlaws going up against the number 11 seed St. Cloud Flyers. It's been a bit rough for the Flyers this season. However, at least as of late, when it comes to recent runs, the Outlaws have been the team that has been struggling a little bit more. Honestly, I view this series as a true coin flip, V15.
Yeah, I agree with that. You expect coming in, and given the results, Outlaws are going to come in here and show them why they're the 5th seed in the tier. But coming from last week, where in their last matchup against an Atlas side who is really struggling as a franchise as a whole, took them to 5 games. So it's still a victory. It still gets the job done, but it isn't as convincing as it needs to be. And actually, although these teams have probably been in the same spaces, I found out these teams played each other during the major, which is rare to happen. I think a lot of times these players don't really know how to face each other, but the Outlaws took that series 4-1. And it contains the player who I want to look out for this game, which is OJ Camo. I think he's been in the league for previous seasons, and I mean, put up like 50% shooting in that best of 7, and really showed what he can do. So I might be leaning the Outlaws, but everyone's telling me there's something to watch out for in this matchup.
Yeah, there's absolutely quite a lot to look out for as Ren jumps off the ceiling early. It's off the not the crossbar, off the post to start things out. Huge early opportunity for the Flyers looking to establish themselves early to start this series. However, they're unable to break through. And yeah, all the context surrounding the series right now says that the team that should be coming out on top should be the Outlaws. They have the head-to-head matchup win during the major at 4-1, as you had mentioned. They have the lead in the standings right now as the 6th seed over the 11th seed. They should be the team to take this series victory, and they are the team to have the first lead as Divine is able to simply float it on through to the right side of the net to start us off here in game number 1.
Right, setting it into the corner and just putting the rest of his players are just kind of in no man's land. This ball just floated towards the front post. Scraps was not really knowing where to go with it and ended up going in not the tone that you want to set. And I do want to see some more play out of Ren, obviously the 2nd overall pick in this Rising Star draft. So it comes in with a high profile and has previous success. Incredible player. As they put this one up on the crossbar, looking for Straps, who is a recent joiner, not drafted with this lineup, trying to find that connection. Ren gets again a touch, but again, Divine is in the right spot to make it 2.
And it's just a fantastic start from the Outlaws, putting any and all whispers from last week to bed. They struggled last week a little bit. They had a loss, and they had a very close win against a lower seeded team, which should have been possibly a more convincing win for the Outlaws. And here they're coming in and showing out early. 2 goals in the first 60 seconds. However, we cannot count out the Flyers. As you had said, they still have Ren, that number 2 overall pick. He can show up at any point during this match, just a question of whether or not he can, whether or not his teammates around him can support him as such. As Houdet is able to get it clear over towards the corner. Ren with an extra touch, but Divine's on the ball early, sent to the corner once again. Divine challenging early. He is just simply everywhere on offense to start out the series as Cripplefy looks to start something up. OJ Camo waiting in the wings, doesn't have a touch. Scraps, able to send it back downfield, cut off by Divine. Shot from Red, sent high and away, but 2 players committed. A little bit awkward till Divine deals with it perfectly.
Yeah, well, I'm putting it off to the side, seeing some offensive pressure now coming through as Ren goes back post. What a beautiful play by them, jumping over 2, showing off that success and skill, dragging his team, trying to get chances here, just dodges a demo, and putting this Flyers team back in action.
The patience exuded right before that first touch was impeccable. Fantastic play from Ren, able to get the first on the board and cut the lead in half for the Flyers to try to fight back there within striking distance, and they're not going to go anywhere. I mean, it's still early in the series. Houdet trying to center it, or at least get a shot on target, something to try to spark this offense towards getting a second goal, but nothing is happening at this moment. Divine instead returns fire downfield. Already a hat trick for Divine just 2 minutes in.
Yeah, what a start by Divine. Look at this pace, in stride, flips towards the ball, and jumps up so early, beating Houdet on that shot. Gathers the power. Great transition goal there from the Outlaws, showing what they can do and showing why they're so strong here. But, I mean, if someone's shooting like this, it's you might want to keep feeding the beast. Is this ball, again, in the offensive area of the Outlaws, cleared by Ren as they go into the corner. Needs to find someone on their team, gets it out to the middle, but great defense there, kicking it out with pace, and no one wants to commit on this Flyers side. Just everyone's content to rotate around as Ren now, once again, round 2, trying to find something in the middle, but does not have quite the boost to find anything, and this ball is falling into the hands of the Outlaws.
I mean, I love the potential that Ren has anytime he's around the ball, but he's got to be careful not to overcommit. But you know what? Forget what I'm saying. Houdet just sends it over towards net, and it trickles its way on through. The defense just not expecting the full clear. Houdet cutting off rotation far before the Outlaws were expecting, and OJ Camo simply does not have a chance to make that save. Lead once again cut down as we get just underneath the halfway point. The point I was trying to make about Ren is that he's got to be careful how far upfield he gets with that 0 boost. Could have been a costly position if he's unable to retreat back and ends up leaving his defense and his team in no man's land. He's able to deal with the ball off the backboard for now as Divine circles around to it once again, looking for a pass. It'll be Scraps to clear. Ren with boost all the way downfield. No defenders in the net. Tied ball game as Ren gets his second.
Wow, it feels like it's out of nowhere. These goals that are falling for the Flyers, just no one's back there. OJ is just stuck in no man's land, and Cripplefy isn't rotating back. And the goal we just saw recently, it seems like both players just turned off their ball cam, and all of a sudden it's in their own net. It's surprising that these ones are going in, and it might not be sustainable if the Owls are able to figure out the rotation. But Cripplefy wants to figure this one out, tries to find something in the middle. OJ gets the touch, there's a bump on the back line, and so he just rolls his way, rolls the ball straight across into the net, and restores the advantage.
OJ just waited and waited and waited. Cripplefy takes Houdet out of the picture, and OJ Camo walks it in with the greatest of ease. Once again, Outlaws reclaiming their lead, and this is a completely different series to what we saw last series. Last series was all defense glorified beyond belief. Here, it is all gas and no brakes. There is all offense this game. The two defenses needing to lock in order to take away this game. Another shot from Divine does not find its way on targets. It's denied by Scraps. It'll be Ren up top with Boost the Tank, switching sides of the fields over towards the sidewall, but Divine's giving him no space to breathe. Divine's seemingly been everywhere on this offensive half to start off this game.
Yeah, definitely. Divine again on the ball, just finding the way to rotate around. Looking, a nice three-person passing play. Goes to the back post. Ren, great job going straight up to clear the lines with power. Scraps now with a big move and clear. That'll go off the backboard. Is there room to follow up? No. OJ sends it clear, but Ren, dangerous with full boost. Looking to find potentially a reset here. Goes for it, but can't quite get underneath the ball. Cripplefy now clearing the lines, and Divine with low boost. Could be a chance here to turn on it once again for Ren, showing what they can do, but intercepted by OJ, and this ball is dangerously sitting in the middle of the net. No one's going for this one. Demo on the backline now. Cripplefy can sweep that one in again, and this pressure on the backline is killing this Flyers side as they just let it sit here, but the Owls are definitely not complaining about it.
I think one of the most interesting things is that Divine was credited with a touch. He got an assist on that play, which, you know what? I'm not going to say anything about it. Whatever. Rocket League, Divine, you could be thanking them for that assist. I don't think he got a touch, but regardless, it does not matter. What matters is the defense did not have a touch. 5-3 now the scoreline as we approach the final 40 seconds of game number 1. The Outlaws look to be thoroughly in control of this game. Their defense has settled down a little bit, as has their offense. Seem to be playing a little more cohesively, a little bit less chaotic as Ren tries getting it clear but can't get it far. Cripplefy and OJ Camo working in tandem. OJ Camo with the double.
Wow, what a play there. Look at this again, the patience, this touch, blocking this one off, and I mean, the mechanics to get the power behind that shot, wrapping around and putting it past the keepers. That's my player to watch there, OJ, is making my predictions look quite sound here as they're doubling up the advantage. And again, even off kickoff, OJ, full boost, trying to find another one. Patient play, finding something out into the middle, throwing some chaos, doing some fakes. Ren is having none of it. Does not want to put 7 on the board, trying to find something towards the middle. But again, even going backwards, Divine is able to intercept. Cripplefy finding a pass out, and with 4 seconds remaining, they will just see this ball to the ground, or maybe they want another goal. Great touch from Ren. Could be a chance to get something on the stat sheet. Uday wants to do so as well, but Cripplefy is having none of it. Are they going to catch it? This one's still staying up. Ren wants to get something here, but I mean, I can't even know what to say. Great touches here. Now Ren trying to counter it. It is still staying up. Hude now with low boost, unable to find the pass. And the Outlaws, although it looked a little bit nervy at the midpoint of that game, find their answers, find their response, and take the game 1.
We have some great 0-second practice from both teams to close things out. One of the things that really stuck out to me was that last goal from OJ Camo. Great double tap, yes, and a good team pinch to set things up. However, the big thing that really stuck out was the Flyers having a head-on collision in a team bump right in front of the net when that happened. The defense from the Flyers just being a little bit out of touch with each other. The chemistry doesn't seem to quite be there, while in the Outlaws, the offense is absolutely flowing right now. 6 goals in total, doubling the shot totals as well, did the Outlaws over the Flyers. 10-5 being the total, and 6 goals is absurd. The Flyers have got to start honing in on defense, working together once again, because you cannot afford to give up 6 goals and expect to win.
Yeah, it's a tough ask to try and respond when the defense is so leaky in that situation. And that's a great point on talking about the players' chemistry, because this is a relatively new Flyers lineup. It looks like there was a trade just last week for the Flyers side that brought in scraps. So that's also something that I was interested going into the series, seeing how the Flyers team can synergize and how well they've been able to flow, especially in cases where sometimes when you have drafts, especially with a player who is drafted quite high up, like Ren, there can just be a bit of dyssynergy. There can be a little bit of like a skill difference. Players might think that they are highly drafted and have that skill level and kind of try to take over the game. Because you can see from that scoreline, Ren had the most points in the lobby, but the result did not go their way. So I'm interested to see how well this Flyers side can sync up, especially if Scraps can find their footing and bring what they need to, but it's hard to find their footing when the Outlaws are just pressuring nonstop. And speaking of the Scraps and the Ren synergy, we see a team bump on the goal line to see that ball trickle in. If that's not a cast curse, I don't know what is.
I mean, that is just absolutely brutal. What should have been a very routine save for Ren in the Flyers back line instead ends up being a free goal for the Outlaws. Outlaws will take that in stride. Fine. Good for them. They're able to get their first on the board with honestly not much needed behind it. While on the side of the Flyers, you have another double commit coming through, and the Outlaws are going to punish that every day of the week. Right now, honestly, like the trade really could be affecting the chemistry. I think one of the biggest things, on offense, I thought Ren was playing quite individualistic style and didn't quite have the rest of the team involved. And now on defense in particular, they are not communicating whatsoever. It is all, I got it, and not enough of, okay, who actually should be the person going here? They now find themselves down 2, and against this Outlaws team, who are really feeling the flow offensively, it's dang near impossible to try to fight back from this.
Yeah, just the pace that the Owls are playing with. Every ball has so much power, but it's also this patience that they're playing with. OJ slowing that touchdown in their own defensive half, controlling it and making sure the quality of the touch is good there. Cripplefy faking that play out, getting a ball out towards OJ. Doesn't have the boost to get over it. But yeah, just the possession, the smart play, these touches all around, the Outlaws are playing so well. And I agree, it seems like some of this offense from the Flyers side is a bit, I'll take this one, I'll try to do this all solo play attack style. And sometimes when they're looking for a pass out into the middle, there's nobody there because they're just assuming the other play style is being employed. So there needs to be some directed attack from this Flyers side, and this could be a chance here as Hude sends it up high. Can Scraps finish it? And there's, just like in game one, we see a response at 2-0. The Flyers are able to tuck it away and get back into this matchup.
I'm glad they were able to get it, and Scraps was able to just clean up the mess there that was left, caused by Hude over the top of the defense. A great pass, simple shot, putting it underneath the defenders. However, there's still plenty of work to be done. They still need to sharpen up that defense, honestly enough. I do like they were able to get the play. It wasn't direct pass, but it is a passing play at that. A little bit of a less selfish style that is what they need at this moment in time. They need to really work as a unit, because ultimately, one player does not make a team in Rocket League. We've seen that at all levels, that it requires every player to be doing their part. It might be OJ Camo doing his part here on the double once again. That is his signature, and he's going to bury that every day of the week.
Oh, what a beautiful play from OJ here. Sending the shot high. I feel like the instinct is to send it just about where Hude was following through, but perfect height off the crossbar there from OJ, and showing that counterattacking prowess. He's trying to get this team, setting up his own double tap. Could be a chance here for Scraps. Gets the shot, and what a positioning there. A great goal in his own right, putting it into the bottom corner, away from the keeper, and more goals galore here in this series.
Yeah, this is just an offensive masterclass from both sides. Both defenses needing to honestly sharpen things up. So this really is a slugfest. Both sides are throwing haymakers without moving their head off the center line. This is an absolute war. Both teams trading punches back and forth. The question is, who's going to hit harder? So far, it has been the Outlaws who took game one in that 6-3 fashion. It's OJ Camo looking for a teammate. He does get it around Scraps, and now Ren will collect it with boost, but Divine with no space to breathe once again. Just simply clamping down on this defense, trying to apply pressure as Scraps gets it cleared outfield, and Ren does have one extra touch, but it's not around OJ Camo. Now, odd man situation. Cripplify underneath the ball. 50 as a team. OJ Camo, the hat-trick hero. 4-2 for the Outlaws.
A great 2v1 here. It looked like the Flyers just sent one too many players up there with an inconsistent touch. Could be quite fortunate that that one finds its way in off the post, but the way that OJ Campbell was finishing this game, 3 for 3 shots on goals, already a hat trick. We saw Divine last game come through with an early hat trick, and now it's OJ Campbell's turn and trying to find a fourth. But Hude, great power behind this backwards clearance, trying to find the pass. Good look there, seeing some infield passes by Scraps, but demoed. Ren taken out, Cripplify for the musty, kicked out by Divine. Is OJ up once again? Yes, they are, but cannot quite find it on target. This one, all of a sudden, a missed touch in the corner, and it's another goal for the Outlaws. And this time, Cripplify doubling the goal scoring total and making it 5-2.
I mean, this is just absolute insanity. 5 goals. There's still 2 minutes remaining in this game. Right now, the Outlaws offense simply cannot be stopped. The Flyers have had 0 answers for all the different looks that the Outlaws have given them. They've had 2-on-1 opportunities. They've had passing plays. They've simply thrown the ball towards the net, and it has worked out. Outlaws seem to be doing whatever it is they please on offense, while they haven't been tested near as much on defense. Minute 4 remaining, last 100 seconds. Ren trying to create some offense for his team to try to fight back, but the Outlaws are firmly in control of this game. Honestly, I don't know if there's a path to come back, but if there is, it's going to have to begin right now. Hude is looking for a clear back downfield. It's going to be Ren up in the air. Shot towards net. Divine with the pre-jump. Great save to clear it up high and away, and gets around Scraps as he sends it into the orange half.
That was the chance that needed to go. Great demo here from Clipify, trying to set a Divine, but a demo on their own, the Flyers' own side. Ren trying to dribble this one out, but can't quite get past. Again, Clipify just throwing themselves into the play. Scraps with the dangerous touch out to the middle. Can't quite find a teammate. 50'd out to the right-hand side, but Clipify again staying on this ball. OJ Camo with the pace to beat the touch. No one wants to come in on the Flyers side for this ball. Dangerously off the front post, but Ren clearing it with low boost, but still in the net. Can't quite get this ball cleared, and this one is again, who else but OJ Camo adding it. Second game in a row with the Outlaws putting 6 past this Flyers team, and there's just been no answer for this Outlaws onslaught.
I mean, at least one thing is for sure, you look like a genius saying that OJ Camo was going to be the player to watch out for, because he has put on a clinic during this game and during the course of the rest of the series. As you had mentioned, though, back-to-back games with 6 goals, Cripplify trying to make it 7 on the double, but really, let's be honest here, the doubles belong to OJ Camo. He's been the guy who's been landing them all series long. It'll be Cripplify, faked out by Ren, it's popped over the top, but from here, it is all academic. Time will tick away off the clock, and we will be looking at match point for the Outlaws. The offense looking stronger than ever. Can they keep it up for a third game? Right now, I don't see any reason to doubt it.
Same here. It's going to need some big changes from the Flyers side. Something that they can look towards. It feels like their offensive chances are just a bit fleeting, so they need to have some sustained pressure, but when they throw numbers up, it seems like the Outlaws are just able to counter it. That would have been a 7th there if the clock had not struck 0. As the Outlaws 2-0 in the series, restoring some of this confidence, some of the swagger behind the lineup, and showing why they're so highly ranked in the standings. And meanwhile, the Flyers need to figure something else out. Getting outshot, outscored, out offensively pressured. Seems like an all-around performance from the Outlaws, but it's tough to say what could be done to change something up.
Well, I think one thing is for sure, you have to limit the shot counts. This is 2 games in a row where the Outlaws have straight up doubled the shots at the Flyers. Last game 10-5, this game being 12-6, and it's just simply increasing for the Outlaws. The offense has not been able to be slowed down, and honestly, while some of it is the Outlaws having good shots like the doubles coming through from OJ Camo or the 2-on-1 opportunities they've been able to execute, there have been certainly plenty of opportunities where the Flyers could have saved themselves, whether it's eliminating team bumps, getting rid of the double commits. There are plenty of things the Flyers can do to try to fight back and try to eliminate their own mistakes. However, can they turn that into offense? It has yet to really be seen. The goal counts being 12-5 right now. It is rough on the side of the Flyers. Going to take a very large effort moving here into game number 3 in order to turn things around. But it all starts here. If they can get first on the board, maybe there's a chance. But there's OJ Camo with a reset right away. It's left for Divine, but saved out wide by Ren. Looking to score early are the Outlaws once again, and that is to the surprise of nobody.
They've started off fast in the first 2 games of the series, looking for a third, as Divine now taking up this ball from Clipify, showing the pace that they have, sends it off the ceiling, intercepted by OJ, forcing Ren into the corner. Bit of a double commit again from the Flyers side. Clipify does have boost to try and get this one towards the middle, cannot quite follow it. It's a big bump on Scrap, so this ball just bouncing in front of the net of the Flyers, and Divine says, "Thank you very much. If no one's going to go for it, I will." Goes up the sidewall, great bump from Clipify, and Outlaws carrying on quite simply from game 2.
I mean, the pace, the pressure, pick whatever factor you want out of a hat. It's probably been in favor of Outlaws. I don't want, to sound rude or sound like I'm trying to insult the Flyers, but it's just simply been the Outlaws series. They've been the better team. They've played to an extremely high ability throughout the course of this, especially offensively, and they show no signs of slowing down, while Ren, Scraps, and Houdet somehow have to try to right this ship. There are 4 minutes left in this game, and then they have to not only try to win this, but they have to win the next and then the third after that in order to try to take this series. It's an extremely tough challenge. The Outlaws, however, are just playing extremely well as Cripplify is going to bring the ball back downfield on a dribble. Flicks past one. Houdet is too far out of net. Make it 2 for the Outlaws.
A great take here from Cripplify, catching this one, knowing that there's nobody threatening on the goal line, and flicks it beautifully off that front post. Past 2 Flyers players. A great all-around performance. All players on this team have their moments and have their strengths. Cripplify there, getting the bump in the first goal to create that opportunity, where we saw OJ and Divine in the previous 2 really turning up. So it's a whole team effort for this Outlaws squad, and it just feels like positionally the Flyers need to figure something out. We see balls like that going off the front post, nobody's following up on it, and all of a sudden the ball's bouncing off your own crossbar. There's just seems to be no midfield, no pressure as they need to, and again, Divine able to go up for this one solo. Ren with low boost kicks it out to the corner as Scraps with some real pace behind it, but the boost control we're seeing from the Outlaws, making that one an easy one control. Now Ren needs to find something off this crossbar. Great shot underneath the defender, and 3rd game in a row we're back at a 2-1 score line.
Yeah, this is a pattern that Flyers, they could live with a pattern like this, answering back. But the only problem is it's after they've gone down 2, and then so far the Outlaws have been able to fight back and climb back to score another few afterwards. So can the Flyers finally collect and maintain some momentum following their goal? There's 3 minutes to do so. They have to fight back on the waterfall. It drops right down in front of net. Scraps is at 0 boost. OJ Camo, light touch towards net. Scraps gets a clear. Cripplify on the follow. Ren, save off the bar. Scraps able to get rid of it. That is an incredible save from Ren. They just need to get it out, and they need to try to continue fighting back. That was an extremely close opportunity. Cripplify is maintaining possession with OJ Camo, but Ren is going to be able to deal with it, dish it out wide, and they get the clear for the time being.
Oh, and all of a sudden, OJ's throwing this one back towards the net. Houday this time, an important touch. Great flick on by Ren. Trying to slow things down, but OJ Camo, again, able to catch this one. That's a dangerous demo. Scraps already flipped up for that one. Was not expecting the demo off the front post, but atones for that quick flip up. Gets the great pass out to the middle, and that's a great team play from the Outlaws. Finding the synergy. Divine setting up OJ beautifully, capitalizing on this boost play, and finishing off this great offensive pressure that they've had.
Yeah, they maintained possession for what felt like ever, and then once again, they just capitalize when it matters most. It's a fantastic passing play to find OJ Camo at the midfield line by Divine. Ren's trying to take it the whole way. Follow from Scraps, just not on target. He had the net to shoot at. Defenders were out of position. Another good opportunity from the Flyers, but they're unable to do anything with it. Divine's going to deal with the ball, sending it towards the sidewall where Ren will collect possession and once again try to start something new, but he's denied again. OJ Camo cannot get back to that, however. Houday wins the 50 at midfield. The Flyers still have life.
Yeah, the Flyers are masters of goals at around the midfield point because everything just seems to be flying in. They're collapsing and putting stuff on net when the Outlaws are just in between rotations, it seems. It's very hard to continuously get shots like that, but I doubt that they're complaining about it, and the Outlaws will bemoan the fact that this game is only a 1-goal lead because it's felt like that they've been all over this Flyers team. They just want to close this one out, going to maintain a high game difference. That's all important for the upcoming land that we have coming into 2025. But can they do something about it to get a doubled advantage? Ren, once again, importantly, getting a launching clearance, but can't quite get past that one. OJ playing the 50, but no one's there. Divine looking for the shot on target, but can't squeak it by the front post. But again, Cripplify adding to this pressure. They need to find something cleared out and fast for the Flyers because if they're not able to set up their offense, the series will end now that we have just a minute to go.
And there is very little time remaining. However, the Flyers have done better this game. They are within 1 goal of tying this game up. It's dropped down in front. The shot saved wide by Cripplify. Follow up now from Houday as he's demoed off the field. Pass from Red towards Scraps at the midfield. Saved up high by Cripplify again, but the pressure is still on. Divine low on boost, gets an extra touch. Scraps now doesn't quite have the read on the ball. OJ Camo has to challenge right away, and Ren is able to steal that corner boost. Final 30 seconds. The Flyers need something, and they need it now. It'll be Ren to take control, but Divine's pre-jump is sublime. Cleared out wide towards the sidewall. OJ Camo shot off the bar, and he can't capitalize. Breakout opportunity now for the Flyers. Miss from Ren. It'll be Scraps to bring it back downfield again. Popped up high. Houday next to challenge. Final 10 seconds. OJ Camo keeping it out towards the sidewall. Scraps on target. Divine saving it. OJ Camo popping high and away. It'll have to be done in the air. Cripplify trying to drop it down, but the ball remains alive. Houday doesn't have a read. Neither does Scraps. It floats over 2, and the Outlaws are able to complete the series sweep.
But more nervy than expected in that matchup. Flyers finally seem to show up in the last minute there, throwing some numbers forward, but the Outlaws showed their strong defense along with their offense, taking that game and the eventual series 3-0, establishing themselves as a strong lineup and showing some great offense as a whole that I think any other Rising Star team would look at and be quite fearful if they have to face them after this upcoming winter break.
Absolutely. The offense just seemed untouchable during that series. And oddly enough, that game actually had the widest shot margin that we'd seen throughout the series. We saw 10-5, we saw 12-6, and then 13-5 to close things out. Now the lead wasn't as drastic, but they still got the job done, got it done quickly. It is a quick and early end to that series. Outlaws did great. Flyers have got some stuff to work on. You can tell the trade affected their chemistry a bit, and they have some work to do. However, there is still another week before the major to try to improve their seeding and see if they can finally get themselves lined up and get themselves ready to peak at the right time when Major 2 comes back around. As for the Outlaws, great job from them. They executed on everything that there was to execute upon. So great showing from them thus far, and we still have 2 more matchups remaining this evening. V15, last thoughts on that series?
Great. I think it would be a great, strong showing from the Outlaws, and there were some signs with the Flyers, especially for a lineup that made some changes heading into this winter break. If there's able time to get play time together, figure out what they need to sort out, I think that would be great for that team. And Outlaws probably just won another game tonight because they were really showing up and showing what's impressive. And I'm hoping for some more offensive showdowns and some more offensive explosions in the upcoming matchup, which will be the matchup between the Burnsville Inferno versus the Duluth Superiors. Matchup that will be important if Duluth shows up this time, because it looks like they forfeited both of their matches last week. So fingers crossed we do actually get a game. But be sure to stick around and see how these two teams are able to battle it out.
Absolutely correct. Again, great casting with you, my man. Glad you and I could be in the booth for this. Well, I hope for casters following Duluth Superiors are able to show up for this match. We'd love to see some more competition. We've had great series up until this point in time, and it will continue throughout the course of the night. As for me, that is my last time in the booth, and this time I mean it. I promise you guys. So I've been McMaster. That is V15. Thank you all very much. We have 2 more series coming your way, so don't go anywhere. We'll return shortly.
Keeps breaking.
Caught up in the storm, but all the survivors looking up below in a little bit of darkness. Hold each other up as we're falling down. Never give up because we are the fighters. Caught up in the storm, but all the survivors looking up below in a little bit of darkness. Hold each other up when we're falling.
Hey guys, and welcome back to the third match that we got here. Unfortunately, I don't know if I have another caster here, and I'm a little bit stranded. So, we're just gonna hop in here with some solo casting. We got a great match. We got the Inferno versus Duluth, and you know what? I think that we're just gonna hop directly into this. We got all of them in the match. We have some honestly great players. Maybe not the record that they want to see, but it will be Carl's Nuts, Paul, and Slay Panther for the Inferno, and we have Seppi the First, Kirby, and I'm honestly forgetting that third one right now, but Dinger for the Duluth Superiors, and this should be a really, really good match, I think. Obviously, the last one was just a nice 3-0 sweep, but I don't think that we're going to have that here, as, I mean, both teams are already coming out so hot on the offensive side. Obviously, Carl and Paul, who have teamed up before, are going to be what I'm looking out for on this Inferno squad. I know they have so many passing plays, as Slay Panther just tells me that he's the one that's going to be scoring tonight. A passing play from the entire Inferno squad. Slay Panther just dimes that up into the top left, and what a beautiful goal to start this thing out. I mean, that is one way to make that statement, but almost wanting to take it slow. I want to see from them, as the physical plays are now also coming out from the Inferno. But from the Duluth Superior side, I mean, we just have three very, very solid players here. There's not really anyone to specifically look out for, but all of them are just so solid that anything can happen when they are on the ball here. Looking at standings just a little bit, the Inferno are the 3rd seed versus the 13th seed of Duluth Superiors, but at the same time, anything can happen. But if we go into any kind of predictions, it's most definitely going to have to be the Inferno, but the Duluth Superiors are not to be taken lightly, as Stinger has just an open net, as Slay Panther just isn't quite in rotation there. And I mean, even though I give the Inferno a high likelihood to win this entire thing, they cannot just sleep on them. But going back into predictions, I think that the Inferno just have such a great lead on this. I think it'll be much closer than that last series, but I do think that this will unfortunately be a 3-0 for the Inferno. But Seppi's gonna make me eat my words real quick, as the Inferno are just awkward. Carl makes a touch that he didn't want to make because of the bump, and Slay Panther just obviously wasn't ready for it. And the Superiors are now looking at a 1-goal lead. Slay Panther just kind of getting back, as Carl just takes a pop shot, and nobody from the Superior side is back to get it. Kirby just trying to clear that maybe, but it was directly into him. I mean, as quickly as they got up, they are now tied back. Paul smartly taking that back. Not quite able to get anything done with it. Carl just trying to get that thing centered. I mean, they're getting shots off already, but maybe not the scariest thing. But talking about scary, Slay Panther had a look on net, but just isn't able to find the opening. Now Carl back in a 1v2 situation. Dinger off the side. Carl goes missing, but Slay Panther's luckily there to bail him out. Seppi now trying his best to get this out of third, as Dinger's finally going to get that out. Now counterattacks are coming from the Duluth Superiors right now, but at the same time, it might not be necessary, as nothing truly scary has really happened. Even though they've scored 2 goals, nothing truly scary has really happened here. Dinger going for the double, and he hits that all day long. Just given too much open space, and it might honestly be that the Inferno just are not trusting it. Paul's up for it, but he was saving the shot instead of the backboard. And I mean, Dinger's just, again, with such great players, you can't give them that space. And once again, the Duluth are up by a goal. Dinger, once again, trying to find something around. Slave Panther not quite able to make the cut, but Carl's gonna be able to take some offense. Some read the width. A little bit of a double commit comes from the Inferno. Leaves an open gap for Seppi, but Seppi is now the one unable to get it. A team bump comes through, which makes this pretty awkward, but nothing too scary as Dinger is now in the center with another open net shot. And I mean, the Inferno are just not looking like they came out at the start of this game anymore. Two players, both on 0 boost, just isn't able to really jump for anything. And I mean, hats off to the pass there, but it's again the Inferno kind of giving up a goal on that one. Inferno desperately need to get their offense going again as they opened up this game so hot, but this is just not the way to finish a game. It doesn't even seem like they're doing necessarily any rotational matters. Slave Panther just pops one into center, maybe didn't call for Paul, and just another open net just kind of flies in. Nothing really scary was about that play, but Inferno have a chance to counterattack. Slave Panther is able to get above one, but the follow-up just isn't quite there. Kirby trying to get over Paul, but it is just kind of gone wide. Nothing too scary from the Inferno right now, but a single touch just slightly better as Carl kind of has to come barreling down, barely makes a save to get his team to only be 3 down. And this was just not the Inferno I thought that we were going to come out here, as with only a minute remaining, there's probably not that much time to get 3 goals, but Carl just isn't able to get it done. Paul now trying to desperately get that into the center, but the desperate attempts are just going to be met with the simple saves, as now the Inferno are looking down the barrel of 30 seconds remaining, and they really don't have anything to show for it. With 20 seconds now clicking down on this clock, there is not really any chance anymore. And granted my amazing guess of a sweep, the Superiors will take it the other way and take the game 1 off of the Inferno. I mean, definitely not any fault of the Superiors, but that was just not a game that seemed like they should be winning in the long run. The Inferno just made some stupid mistakes, and granted the Superiors were able to almost get all of their open nets on them. It's just the Inferno had so many openings. And like, even looking at the score line, you can see not many saves even came out, even though they would have been desperate for that the entire time. Going to game 2, though, I have high hopes. The Inferno are definitely a team that can immediately come back no matter what the mental is. Carl and Slave Panther, some of the better mentals within this league. But they definitely have to come out a little bit hotter in this game to give them that confidence, as Carl might have a look on net, but Dinger is able to get that out. Paul trying to get that center, but it is going to be saved. The Inferno are able to maintain possession, but for how long is the question. Paul not able to get that 50, but Carl is able to follow that one up. Kirby now with a little bit of fear going through that from the net. Carl might have a touch here. Is over 2 of them. Seppi needing to make a 50. Kirby with 0 last man back, but does not matter as both Inferno players were also 0. As Paul is now looking for a pass out center, is able to get it, but Slay Panther just didn't trust the touch. Carl now coming in to clean up in the start, but just doesn't make quite as good of a first touch as he wanted. Kirby up with 0, is able to leave it for another. The shot comes, but Carl is able to get the save. Almost a shot from the Inferno came out, but it is just barely wide. And I mean, looking at almost all of this, the Inferno are looking at such little boost, and the Superiors are just controlling this entire game. They might not have the ball possession necessarily, but the boost game is just so strong that Carl is forced into going for boost. He's forced to make plays that he doesn't want to do here, just to try to get into that right area. Going through, and I mean, it's just unfortunate at this point it's no longer even just Inferno giving easy stuff, it's just, this can't be happening. A bad touch comes out, and that just means another open net for Seppi there. I mean, if you are the Inferno, you just have to find your groove, because they're all very capable of immediately coming back no matter what it is. They just have to find it within themselves to actually, where is that play style that they want to play? Where is the pressure that they want to put on? Maybe even some physical plays could come out here. But on the Duluth side, they're just cleaning up everything that the Inferno are giving them. Carl just with a slight mistouch, and Dinger forces him off of it, and Kirby immediately takes the shot. Just, it's no longer even the Inferno making mistakes. The Superiors are now finding their own goals. They're making their own areas where they can score off of it. And I mean, you almost want to chalk this game up to the Superiors with half the game remaining. But it would just be so hard for the Inferno to then get a reverse sweep. Carl trying to make it so they don't get into that position, just isn't able to get the right touch. A 50 just barely goes off the crossbar as Slay Panther is able to finally get it out by a little bit, but the possession is still for the Superiors, as a shot could have come through. Just didn't have quite the boost, but Seppi trying to play it slow. Panther now is 0 boost, desperately trying to get that up. I mean, it might be that the Inferno are now playing too fast, as the Superiors are taking every play slow here, and it's working great for them, as an Inferno player is just immediately diving, and they just aren't having it. As Seppi now with the 1 with 0. Paul trying to get that center, but is hit out by Dinger. Carl's trying to keep possession, but it's just not working too well for him, as Slay Panther finds his teammate center, and that's just a beautiful shot, a great pass, and better shot. And not to say that they're back in it with 2 more goals to go, but that's a great confidence booster. That is a great way for them to realize they are the better team, and that's the mentality that they have to have coming into this. But they have to finish that turnaround and get 2 more goals in just a minute 30. Paul trying to go fast, isn't quite able to make any contact. A double commit from the Inferno comes out, and that's just not what you want to see right now, as they only really have about a minute left in this. Carl's up, makes a great touch center. Is it going to be followed? Slay Panther just isn't able to get quite the correct touch, as that goes into a Duluth Superiors counterattack. Luckily, no one was there to finish it out, but again, they're looking down the barrel of the clock. Only 50 seconds to remain. The Slay Panther making another great pass, might have the bump, but Carl just isn't able to get it. Paul makes another touch center, is going for the bump, but misses it. Dinger able to get that out. Only 30 seconds now. A great save comes out from the Inferno, but that's just not what they need. They need to have these shots. It's great and all that they're playing good defense now, but they are desperate for these goals as the physical plays are now coming out. Paul needs to make that touch, is able to get it out, but not enough. Inferno players are back as they're all forward trying to get the goals now. And you can't even blame them of they need to be aggressive, but that will basically seal their fate. Now going to be looking at a triple match point, needing to reverse sweep the Superiors now. I mean, looking at those cams, the entire Superiors aren't even happy about it. They're just maintaining it, just stone cold killer vibes, as they're now already looking at match point. Be unfortunate if my prediction was correct, but in the wrong way of a sweep would be a little out of character for this Inferno squad. I mean, it looks like most of them are just readying up immediately. I don't even know if I like seeing that. I kind of want them to at least take 30 seconds, kind of talk over a little bit of why did they lose that game? Why has the last two games really not gone in their favor? And really the answer to that is just unconfident plays or just misplays of going up with zero boost, making double commits in bad places, or just weird rotations, which don't seem to be helping right now, as just another mistouch comes out from Slay Panther. And I mean, it's a difficult shot for Kirby to place correctly, but Slay Panther with a double mistake just gives the Superiors another goal into their match point. Ball trying to get this into the center. Isn't quite able to. Carl is able to get that free, but Slay Panther's again looking on zero, and I really hope that the Inferno figure out their boost situation into this game, because I feel like I'm saying that they're on zero so often, as Slay Panther almost falls his own teammate. Is able to get something on target, but quite an easy save from Kirby, as Carl is now just kind of throwing the ball at the wall. Not a great touch, does give Slay Panther in possession. Paul pre-jumps, Carl takes a shot, but a great save comes out from the Duluth Superiors. Paul is now the one up, has the ability to double tap, is saved out though, he probably had that. And Carl is able to finally get that through, and this is the aggression that you wanted to see from them the entire time. Just ruthless aggression, passing plays, pre-jumps, and everything. This is the way that you want to see them right now. Paul now able to keep that aggression going. Carl last back, but just has the confidence to go for it. Got a good shot, but just barely saved away. Seppi now is the one with zero boost. Shot comes out from Kirby, but just does go high. Slay Panther just trying to get that out. Carl once again with the ball, full boost and possession. The demo plays are now coming out too. And this Inferno squad does look like they have found their groove. It looks like they know what they wanted to be doing right now. It's just unfortunate that they went 2 games down before they found it. And this Duluth Superiors squad is still looking good. They understand what they enjoy doing. Kirby with a little bit of a mistouch on the goal line. And it seems like they've swapped spots. Now it's the Superiors making slightly bad touches and the Inferno cleaning up on it. That this could be the complete sweep in the opposite way. The reverse sweep is definitely on the table now with how they're looking. Slay Panther trying to get that off, but isn't quite able to get a great shot. Kirby with the solo plays, flicks it over one, but isn't able to follow up with the bump. Dinger and Seppi with some miscommunication, but keeps possession. Well, gets a touch, but nothing too scary on the net quite yet, but the ball's floating in an conspicuous spot. Dinger needing to get a 50, just barely able to get the net save instead, as Carl is now up, isn't quite able to get the speed to it, but Paul trying to get to it. A great attempt on net, but just slightly off. And now it's the Superiors constantly in their back half trying to desperately defend. Aren't even able to really get any shots out. Seems like they're just making touches as the Inferno are again on the attack. It's popped up, but no one able to follow. Dinger now with a great touch forward, but his teammate just isn't able to get there. A double tap was attempted. Not quite able to get there, but it's definitely the Inferno that have found their confidence. But Kirby, I don't even know how, is able to somehow get that into the back of the net. He takes a great shot from up the rafters and double taps it off of Paul and Carl to somehow tie up the game. Definitely not the way he wanted to shoot that, but the end result is the same, and it's now a tied game with the Superiors. Maybe even killing a lot of the momentum that we just saw from the Inferno. Ball now just slowly repossessing the ball. Isn't able to quite beat out his defender, but Carl gets a good pass over. And Carl is not quite able to get anything to happen. Slay Panther is going to go a little bit wide on his jump, and Seppi is now going to be taking another lead. And it just looks like Slay Panther just didn't quite understand where he wanted to be on defense there. Just jumped a little bit too early, and the ball goes flying right over his head. Only a minute left. And the Inferno, even after my crazy prediction, are now looking at being swept by the Superiors roster. While trying to not make that case, they need to get one goal here before this clock hits 0. But the Superiors now look like they're the ones that want to take the offensive. The Inferno just not making great touches right now. All taking a solo plays. Past one, gets the 15 out to the center, but Carl just isn't quite able to get there as a counterattack is now coming up. Kirby has the double tap set up, and he does get it through. 20 seconds left, 2 goals up on their match point. And I mean, if you're the Inferno, you now need basically 2 pickoff goals to even just stay in this game. Not even just the series, just the game. And that is a very tall order as the kickoff doesn't totally go their way. The shot is on target, but just too easy of a save for the defense. And now with that, it looks like Carl might even have crashed out a little bit. Yeah, Carl's staying up, but he's not really in the mental game. And even though my prediction, the standings, all of that, it looks like the Inferno are being swept by the Duluth Superiors. And I mean, a great performance from the Superiors for sure. They all looked great on that field, but this was really the Inferno's game to lose. And I mean, even looking at that scoreboard, it's just not looking good for them whatsoever. And I mean, it just happens to go like that. But I mean, a nice 3-0 sweep for them is what it's gonna look like. Yeah. A nice short and sweet one, I guess. But I mean, looking at our schedule, we will be seeing the Bemidji Lumberjacks versus the Rochester Rhythm. So we're gonna quickly send this to break, and yeah, don't go anywhere because we still got a few more matches to come up here.
I found you instead.
know how. I can hardly feel, but I try to pretend. I put my hand on my heart just to see if I'm human. You hold your breath just to see if you can. When you've been broken, when you've been broken, could there be an answer in the hurt that set me free? More than all these empty words that brought me to my knees. And I'm broken, but I'm hoping. And I'm broken, but I'm hoping. And I'm broken. And I'm broken. Let it in, I can take it. Learn the sound of the changes. Nothing else can drown it out. Put myself in a racing, made a bet and erase it, just to know that I still count. I can hardly feel, but I try to pretend. I put my hand on my heart just to see if I'm human. You hold your breath just to see if you can.
Welcome back, everybody, to some more MCS action. I'm Clash, joined by Zoms, and we got another Rising Star matchup. Lumberjacks versus the Rhythm. What are your thoughts on this one, Zoms?
This is going to be a good one. This is a Rhythm who's seen lots of changes throughout the season, and they finally found a roster that they're super confident in and that they're going to stick with until, the end of the season. And on the other side of that coin, Lumberjacks, who have been mixing it up quite a bit, and they got a lot of new tricks in their bag going into this week. And with that, they have, I'm pretty sure, almost a completely new roster.
Yeah, I think Chris with the K was on there as of the last. He was not an original piece of the Lumberjacks, but he was on there since Trade Window 1. So that's the piece that's kind of sticking for the Lumberjacks at this point. But Ender Dude and Flushy, if I'm not mistaken, are both new. I know Flushy is. Ender Dude, I'm not sure if he was in a sub spot before or not, but at this point now, I know for sure that, it's a completely new roster. So it's going to be very interesting, especially because Chris with the K and Flushy, they're really high on the salary list. So going to be looking for a lot out of those two.
Yeah, let's just transition on over to the starting rosters. Going down to the Bemidji side, like we just said, Chris with the K, Flushy, and Ender Dude. I think my star player on that team, I'm looking at Flushy. Flushy, he's been playing Challenger. He had really a lot of success in Challenger even. And on the other side, AK Straight and Focus, I'm looking at Straight. Those are my two wonder players on the field right now. These players are all in the lobby now. We're almost ready to get going. Let's just look at the point standings real quick before we get into this one, just to see, where is everyone in points right now? And dang, hold on, is that correct? Oh my goodness, Clash. You really cooked that hard?
I try to sometimes, and I haven't made a roster move. But, the Mauler's definitely out in first place there, but there's a lot of teams fighting for it, and two of the teams that are really trying to get these wins, especially the Lumberjacks, because they're ways down there, are both the Rhythm and Lumberjacks. Rhythm are right on the cusp of that 8th place right now. Lumberjacks, they just haven't really found wins. They've lost a lot of close ones. Their game differential really isn't that bad, but their record just doesn't reflect the quality that they've had. But unfortunately, if you're not getting wins, you're not getting the points. So Lumberjacks really need to start something here, and they really want this win.
Yeah, absolutely. There's a lot of teams in that range that are trying to qualify for LAN. This is going to be a big game, to not just keep yourself in the running, but to have a spot over, like a little edge over the other teams going into the major, because seeding is everything going into these majors. And
for sure,
you can with a good seed, you can go a long way. You can do a lot with that. I think the players are almost ready to get going here. Probably shoot them a message. And we're still working on cameras. Sorry, I'm trying to rush production a little bit too quickly. I'm sorry. That one's on me. And I don't know. We can do a little early prediction if you want. I think I'm leaning one way. Are you leaning in one way or not really?
I am, but I have a feeling I'm leaning the other way. I want you to predict first. I'm curious.
Okay, yeah, I am actually leaning towards the Rhythm, and the reason why I say that is we just got beat by them, and I'm a little bit biased. So I really do believe in this team. I think Straight is a monster pickup. And AK recognized that super early, and AK and Straight have been practicing so much. I see them every day playing like scrim on scrim on scrim, and they finally found the last piece of the puzzle, and I think Focus is that piece. He's a monster in his own right, and I really think this is 3 players that want it a lot. Now this Lumberjacks team is scary, but I have to go with Rhythm. I'll say I feel like I can't say anything less than 4. I'll say 4. I'll say Rhythm in 4.
Really? Okay. Yeah, I think this is a very close series. I thought you were going to be predicting Lumberjacks, honestly, with that roster move, but I'm also going to go Rhythm. I think it is very, very close, though. I'm going to 5, but Lumberjacks, it's tough, so tough to predict because it's like an entirely new roster, pretty much from the Lumberjacks, and now the Rhythm have to prove that their roster, the one they built around AK, Straight coming on the first trade window, Focus coming in through the second, that this roster is the one to beat. But here we go as we get into the action. Lumberjacks versus Rhythm.
Yeah, first kickoff is going to be important here. See if they try any crazy stuff. Not quite. Enderdude's going to end up with possession, going for the backboard straight. A critical miss, Flushy! The 2-star players ahead. It's going to be Chris that cleans it up. The 2-star players that I had, going into this one, critical errors with a whiff on the backboard and then a miss on the open net. Chris calmly just takes control and shoots that top right, bailing out his teammate, but already a goal and a big mistake from both sides, but the Lumberjacks are the one are going to stand tall with the goal. Now, I don't want to find this one back pretty quick here. Enderdude's going to send it towards the backboard. Going to be a sharp bounce. Focus does great with it. It's being sent high and wide. Chris is up so quickly he put a hand up. Enderdude is also going to chase that down as fast as he can. Focus is trying his best to keep that in the corner. It's going to be Chris with an aerial play. It's keeping it close off the backboard to Flushy. Shut down by Straight, though.
Yeah, and as you mentioned, those two mistakes, they're really early on in the series. And luckily for the Lumberjacks, the mistake from the Rhythm was a bigger one, right on the goal line, not getting one out. So they're maintaining that momentum now, trying to maintain this lead as they're trying to get this one out of their zone. Focus tries to get a contact on the ball, not quite able to. AK just playing passive here. That is just fine for him, but passive is not going to work for him as he's demoed on the field. Focus trying to take a little bit of control. AK cutting him off, but that is a perfect play for him because Focus was 0 boost. Focus still 0 boost. This one's going to be going through. Flushy with a free hit there. No one was able to challenge. Nobody had any boost left on the Rhythm.
Yeah, they really just drained him out, and the Lumberjacks are in a very solid position to be able to keep the pressure, and they finally get a decent shot on target. It's going to be too much for the Rhythm to handle, and going down too early, that's got to hurt, but, they have lots of time to fight back here. AK maybe had a bit of a chance to solo play. Opposite just boom it out. Chris up so quickly to get that over to Flushy. Flushy trying for a sidewall, just goes missing. Focus just pops it high. Enderdude off the backboard, maybe finds a double, couldn't quite find it. It's onto Chris's head. Pops in the midfield. He's just trying to get one more. It's going to be a floating ball, easy enough for Focus to pass it over to straight into the corner, but Flushy's all over it. Enderdude's trying to find a shot, but it's just going to find the backboard where Focus is there to meet him. Going to find it out, but they just cannot get out of their half. The Rhythm are being suffocated, and here's another shot. It's not much, but it's enough just to keep the ball awkward and in danger even, but Enderdude couldn't quite advance the ball. Now Straight might have a chance to air dribble it out, but the boost runs low. AK gets a fair shot, but it's going to be cleared out. They need to keep pressure here.
Yeah, and they're really trying to, and they're going to be able to. Focus with the mechanics, trying to be able to get it past that last player, is able to. That last little touch plays it over him, and Focus, definitely a big piece of this roster as far as the mechanical side goes, as far as the can opener, opening up the opportunities for his team. He's so dangerous on the ball. If you aren't on him super quickly, he's going to be punishing, and he did right there. But they're still behind here. Rhythm's still trying to figure out how to get through on this line. Focus able to make the save there. Chris with the K back to the middle to Enderdude, cut off by Straight. AK trying to get a little bit of counterattack going. No boost from him though. Just trying to force Straight. Big 50 coming off from him, but Chris with the K is able to get clear. Chris with the K's name is very confusing to me because AK, it makes it very confusing when he's playing against AK. It just hurts my brain a little bit, but as we're going here.
Oh my. Sometimes I want to say Chris with AK.
Yeah, me too. But Lumberjacks able to get one through here as we start yapping a little bit about random stuff, but Enderdude cleaning that one up.
Yeah, we got a little sidetracked, but Enderdude stayed right on the rails and found himself another goal, going up by 2. 2 minutes left. Lots of time. I mean, Rhythm still able to get their groove back. AK cutting this off. Maybe he has a chance here to find Focus, but 2 players come in on this one. It's still a decent chance, but Flushy flying high, able to keep this one safe. Enderdude try to keep it off the backboard. I've been super impressed with Enderdude, to be honest. I went into this, thinking, well, maybe he was, just what they could get. Seems like maybe like a sub spot before, but no, he's really been showing up. He's been, showing me that, I maybe I was underestimating him a little bit too much, and he's been really, earning his keep here, and I've been very impressed with what I've seen from Enderdude this game.
Yeah, absolutely. All the players from the Lumberjacks have contributed plenty. Their score line is very even right now on that scoreboard. But on the other side, Focus just really trying to carry his team right now, but it's not quite enough at the moment. They're still down 2. Also, I do want to mention, Flushy used to be on the Rhythm too. I know he was on a challenger team, so it wasn't exactly his team that dropped him on this one, but maybe a little bit of a revenge game for him. Flushy wants to get this win. This one goes through. Focus almost able to get it straight, able to clean it up, and Rhythm are within 1.
Yeah, there's been so many goals this game, like an absolute machine gun of shots. Finally, Straight is finding off the backboard to, close the gap again. I mean, only 1 goal. Lumberjacks are going to feel like they let this one slip a little bit. But with a minute left, there is plenty of time to get this one back. Rhythm are trying to find a way out of their corner here. Felucci tries to shut down. Just 2 players up. Both calls off the teammate, and they respect him. They say, okay, yep, you got that. Straight is trying to find a high-flying play right here off the corner, perhaps. Does just go missing. AK jumps maybe a little early, gets outplayed, but he sticks with it. Trying to back pass to it. Is going to be there again, and Ender Dude, left alone, just slows it down, keeps it close, and he stalls so much time for his team to get back that almost the entire offensive pressure just got dissipated. Now in the corner of the other end, Lumberjacks are just trying to keep the attack where they can't get scored on over here. In fact, it's flying towards the goal. Focus has to make 1 more save, and he's just adding up the points. Going to the last 10 seconds here, Rhythm need a goal.
Yeah, they do. They're trying everything they can, but Lumberjacks want nothing to do with it. Almost another goal from the Lumberjacks there. Now Rhythm trying to counterattack, but space for Flushy. Is he going to be able to kill it? He is. Finds the space in the midfield. And Lumberjacks taking game 1, looking good while doing it. Team effort.
Yeah, great. Just all-around team effort. I mean, even though you look at the points, Focus looked like he had an absolutely outstanding game. Lots of goal line saves, 6 coming out from him.
Mm-hmm.
The Lumberjacks just stayed composed. They played as a team. They played together, and they pushed through, and they got this first win. Now, it is just the first game. Lots of series left ahead of you. You got to lock in. This is a Rhythm team that started coming back in the later stages of this game. Now, going into this next game, you want to shut them out. You not shut them out, but you want to get back that lead, because this Rhythm team, they were starting to get their foothold. They were starting to claw back, and I will say this is a scary team that, ironically, once they get their rhythm, they start rolling. And if you can shut that out early by, getting the first win, that's huge. That is the first step. But there's a lot more. There's a lot more stones to walk on this road. Just keep going. Keep walking. The Lumberjacks are in the driver's seat. They're in the control of their destiny, and these are 5 points that they want to steal from the Rhythm.
Absolutely, and yeah, every point at this point in the season is so important. Both of these teams trying to fight for that land spot. Both of them looking outside in right now. But as we get into this next one, I'm looking for the Rhythm to really clean up their midfield play, because they did get a decent amount of shots, but just not enough, in my opinion. There was way more offense on the Lumberjack side. They were able to sustain that offense. When Rhythm went on offense, I felt like it was a one-trick, one chance opportunity, and then they lost the possession. I need them to, when they're on offense, be able to maintain that. And that's a huge demo coming out. 2 of them coming out from the Lumberjacks there. I thought that was a for sure goal about to happen for the Rhythm, but as we move on from that one, and no goal comes of it.
It was a bit of a jump scare. Yeah, we're on camera there, looking like it was just going to be a tap in, and then all of a sudden, boom, and Flushy gets a solid chance, saved away by Straight. Wonderful defense. AK is clearing across the box, a little bit dangerous. Flushy's going to be the first one to meet him, but gets bumped off. Focus trying to find his way down the field here. It's into their own corner. AK just keeping on the pressure. They have lots of boost here. Focus is actually maybe caught going for some. Has to pop and passes him too. Has to 1v2, and they do expertly. The Lumberjacks continuing their team play. Flushy, had a chance here to do it all himself and just shot it right at him, which made Focus so unbelievably awkward. And Chris with a K cleans it up. That's a 1-goal lead in the first minute, and Rhythm have to fight back from behind again.
Yeah, Rhythm, again, trying to maintain some offense, but they're not playing it in spots where teammates can follow up. The midfield play isn't quite there, and because of that, it makes it hard to get quality touches on the offensive side. They were that was a counterattack opportunity for the Lumberjacks, but that counterattack probably shouldn't have happened. There was just a couple errant touches and a little bit of lack of midfield there from the Rhythm, and that was the result of the goal for the Lumberjacks. That's all they needed. They were able to get that punish. They were able to counterattack strong, straight, trying to get one on target, but again, easily saved away by Chris. Focus, trying to get this one back forward, straight, and AK are committing, not on target. This could be dangerous again on the counterattack. They are going full force here. Focus, not able to make the save. That one's going to be a slow floater, and Enderdug gets the second for the Lumberjacks.
Yeah, that's a good follow-up by Enderdug. You know, seeing a player right there, it's hard to just take the shot, but AK messes up his play, goes flopping, and that's just going to be a free shot for Enderdug. Once again, earning his keep and doubling up on their lead. This is the same as they were in last game, and they just wanted to. They're so happy just to, you know, write the same story over and over again. And Chris with a K, almost making magic happen with a flip reset. Doesn't quite go in. AK is just going to clear the ball. It's going to be maybe a chance here. Felushi's left all alone, but he does go missing on the goal line, but it's not very threatening. AK trying to find straight in the midfield. Does get shut down again by Chris. Going to be bouncing it awkwardly into this corner. The ball is so often in this corner, but they're having such a hard time turning these into threatening chances. Finally, a double commitment comes out with maybe a bit of a chance here, a bit of space. AK going for the demo, just an Enderdug expertly, instead of jumping, just plays low and actually fakes out the offender. And wow, what an infield pass quickly from Enderdug, and Felushi finds the top right of the net, or top left of the net. It just happened so quickly. What a 50, and then just a slight touch left the entire defense just a little bit too slow to the ball, and Felushi now tripling up their lead going into halfway point of this game.
Yeah, all three players up there for the Rhythm, but no one challenging early enough to get the clear. That are just not respecting that pass coming out from the Lumberjacks. The Rhythm are trying to maintain some pressure here. That was a chance there. AK not quite on target. And Straight now takes it over, tries to get this one middle. Not going to be able to. Enderdug, big follow-up touch, and another big follow-up touch. Huge 50s coming out from him. Rhythm just not able to get up from the midfield. If they do, it's only for a second. AK tries to press this one middle, not going to be able to. Felushi for the clear, not going to be able to make contact, but cleaned up by his teammates. Focus tries to take some control here. Going to be putting it middle. No one there from his team. Focus up for this one. Beat out by Chris. Enderdug, big 50 from him, but Straight just chilling with it on the back line. There's not a whole lot of pressure coming up from the Lumberjacks, but they don't need it. They're still up 3. Only a minute and a half left in this one.
Yeah, they're happy just to burn this clock away, and I mean, this is another high-flying ball. Focus has to put in so much more boost. They can't be just sitting here on defense. They have to start pushing the attack. This is another 2 people that can, at least they get out for a chance. AK almost getting a follow-up there. It's going to be into the corner. They have to have a chance here. Straight, just trying to keep it in the play. It's going to be a light ball that Enderdug can easily handle with AK. Leaves it for Focus. Focus being trusted with the cards here. Gets the flip reset. Trying to find the pass too, but going for the ground pitch gives them all the time just to stand on the ball and challenge him. Straight couldn't quite find the angle he needed. AK does get at least a bump for Focus. They've been leaving Focus so many times alone on defense. This time, yeah, he does well. And once again, going into the last 50 seconds here, they still need a goal. The time is just chopping away. Felushi into the midfield again. And Straight does a great job of shutting this attempt down, but they need chances. There's at least one chance, but it's shut down so quickly that it seems like there's no offense at all.
Yeah, I really want to see Focus on the front line more often, but he's really just feels like he's stuck on the back line right now. Either he's not working his way into the rotation well enough, or his teammates aren't letting him in, and either way, it's just not a recipe for success. Focus, in my opinion, is the most dangerous player on this Rhythm roster when he has time on the ball. I don't know if you've seen his clips and stuff, but he is a menace on the ball, but there's just not space given to him right now, and I'm not sure who isn't giving him the space or if he's not getting it himself again. But Lumberjacks are just suffocating them right now. Rhythm are not playing the game that they need to counterattack this Lumberjacks squad. Again, Rhythm are able to get some shots. They had 5 there. They're still outshot by quite a bit. I mean, 11-5 in shots, but 5 shots isn't terrible for offense. but they just never felt dangerous. It was one single attacks, counterattack, one single attack, counterattack, every single time. And they have to figure out how to stop that.
Yeah, I'm so impressed with the Lumberjacks right now. I mean, they are just keeping so much pressure that the rhythm, I mean, each time they try breaking out, it seems like the only way they're ever getting even the ball down on the other field is when they're sending multiple people. And usually it was Straight and AK from what we've seen. Straight and AK have been going a lot together. I don't know if it's a communication problem.
Yeah.
But, these two being the duo that we've seen stick together for so long, it's uncharacteristic. And, leaving focus on defense so many times alone, once again, it's a recipe for disaster. But we just got to see them fight back. 3 goals, they let go 3 goals pretty quickly, but they stopped the bleeding. That's one good thing to look at for that game. You just have to carry that over into this game and take your chances. But it's not over yet. That's one thing we've seen from this team is that they are very, 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 strong mentally, and they can fight from behind. Now you have to find that here. These Lumberjacks are super strong. I mean, they're just gonna keep pushing through. And Straight is trying to find the first chance in this game. Actually passed one. Just to be Chris back with full boost, and Flushy into the midfield gets a flip almost. Couldn't quite do anything with it. It's going to be off the corner again, and Flushy trying to steal that boost. Enderdude maybe with a shot, and Enderdude, once again, I know I keep saying this, but he has just been surprising me time and time again.
He's been doing so much. Enderdude's been doing so much for this team. He does not look out of place here.
It's surprising though, because Chris with a K going into the season, high first seed, and then Flushy dropping down from challenger. You expect that maybe a rising star, fourth round or potentially third round to look maybe a little out of place, but no, he's risen to the occasion. He's been looking the part, and I'm just so impressed. But they got to continue. That is the closeout of the game. This is the toughest game of the series. The closeout match will always be the hardest. Now, Enderdude on the ball. AK does shut it down quickly, but I mean, they're just looking calm. They're not overextending one bit.
No, they're not. Yeah, Lumberjacks just playing their game, playing solid. That's something we haven't really seen, though. Demos coming out from either of these teams. And we just saw some fireworks already coming from both sides now. Straight, just trying to maintain it in the corner, trying to hold some possession, trying to play some of his own defense, so Focus doesn't have to as much, because he has been this whole time. Focus waiting on the back line, Straight taking it over. Flushy doesn't make contact here, and Lumberjacks maybe trying to get a little bit of that physical play going out, trying to make Rhythm uncomfortable.
Yeah, anything to spark something new, but Straight trying to do some defense. He's going to find his way to Chris's hands, just goes wide. Focus just opts to clear the ball far and wide. He's finally, here we go. He's on offense here. Does outplay one. Makes all 3 operates completely open. And someone strike the ball. Oh, no. It goes high. Finally, we finally saw Focus on the attack. And he did great. He outplayed 3. And the ball just hovering on the goal line. But they still have time. You need more chances like that. The finishing just wasn't there this time. Focus keeping the ball in play. This is a continued pressure play. It's just flying down. Enderdude has to bail out Flushy this time. It's going to be a low ball. Flushy pops it high. Low boost is going to be straight to meet him. AK turning on this one after stealing the 100. Does not quite make contact. Focus is left on defense again. Has to challenge. He does a great job, but he left with no boost. Ball gets by him into Straight's hands. What can Straight do with it? With 100 boost, high flying. He gets the reset. Does not quite get that play. And they are keeping pressure. This is something we didn't see from the entirety of the last 2 games. They're keeping pressure for extended time. This time, Straight again leading the charge. Focus taking the shots. It's just barely saved out, and going the last 2 minutes, the pressure has been phenomenal, but the striking has just been a little lacking.
Yeah, that's the start that they needed, though. Without chances, they're not going to get any goals, and they are giving themselves chances now. Rhythm, all they have to do is clean up those opportunities and not let this one through. They did make that goal line save now. Straight, waiting in the midfield. He's going to go ahead and shoot that one. I was kind of hoping he would fake that. AK was ready and waiting if he did. But Flushy trying to get this one back middle. This is going to be a chance for the Lumberjacks. Good save by Straight. Good lead by Focus, too. Straight takes this one over. Tries to get the pinch out. AK going to be left last back. Is going to be able to get that one out. Straight. Big challenge coming up from him. AK is going to try to put on the pressure. Now Straight is going to take over the pressure. AK, back middle. No one there, though. Ender Dude, big clear from him. And this one's really stalemated out, Zoms, as we're still at 0-0. Only a minute left in this one. Rhythm fighting for their series lives.
Yeah, it looks like a lot more structure going into this game. And they're a little bit more nervous to extend that last man. You know, it is the closeout game, and in this time, Ender Dude with no fear just dives in and takes the shot. This is the fear that a lot of people have during the closeout game. They are nervous to take that shot. It's a close angle. You could hit the post right there, but two players have been outplayed on the backboard. All you have to do is tap it in. He does wonders. Ender Dude once again leading the charge for the team. I mean, he's just outshining the rest of the lobby right now. And they're just keeping the pressure now. It seems like they're going to have a hard time breaking another half. Felucci going high wide. He gets that flip back, just takes a pot shot at net. AK does a nice job to keep it wide, but there's no boost. The entirety of the rhythm is kind of hurting right now. Strength does outplay one. Focus is charging this one down to the corner, has a tough read, rushes in, and AK, or Chris with the K, does a great job just to stay calm and clears it out. It's a big clear going out again. 20 seconds left. They need to find a goal right now to stay alive.
Only 15 seconds left as Straight trying to get this counterattack going. Is able to beat one. This one could be open. It is. Focus puts it away, and Rhythm are still in this one. They're finally able to get some offense. They're finally able to generate it, and eventually it paid off. But this one was on a counterattack. That was just no one back. I don't know how they beat that third man so easily, but they will take that one as we have only 9 seconds left in this one, and they're trying to maintain that pressure. Excuse me.
Yeah, and thankfully that was a goal much needed. I mean, obviously running out of clock, they're about to be game set point, but it's also a first goal in 10 minutes that we've seen from them. They needed that desperately for just some confidence now. You got to turn that goal, that into confidence, and that confidence into a closeout. Nearly off the post. Please finish the ball. AK couldn't quite find the net again, and it's just rolling down. The shots once again have just been a little bit too wide. Focus. Just brings it across his box. Super risky play, but it doesn't quite punish them yet. They're in their half. His pressure focus was missing this time, but it's going to be a bang down. He's going to get the mid boost. AK booms it out. Bit of a heavy touch from Flush. She's straight there to meet him. AK opts to just take a pot shot at goal. Nothing that Ender Dude can't take care of. It's going to be a high flying ball into the corner. AK or Chris is the first one to meet it here. Straight, almost trying to sidewall, but it's just going to be banged out again by Ender Dude. Chris is down there to meet him. Tries catching the ball on the wall. Does go a little bit wide. AK keeping pressure now. It's jumping off. Focus with the shot. Ender with no boost. Saves it away, but Straight ices it out off the backboard. A minute into overtime. The hero that they finally needed. A shot finally found in the back of the net, and it's Straight. 98 kph, top right, bang. Finds themselves the game to keep themselves alive.
Yeah, very good play coming out there from the Rhythm. AK puts a shot on target, not really threatening a goal, but it forces out that last defender, and Ender Dude on zero boost can only do so much, only able to get it so far out, and Straight with the cleanup. Rhythm finally on the board, and Lumberjacks, they still played a good game, but Rhythm, they seem to clean it up ever so much more, and maintaining that pressure is really their key to success right now. They were able to maintain it and finally got some opportunities. If they were hitting shots, this would have been a blowout win for the Rhythm.
Yeah.
They had so much opportunity, so many chances that they let go by the wayside, and yet they're still coming away with the win. So that's really good signs for the Rhythm now, but they still have 2 more to go.
Yeah, Lumberjacks just want to look past this one, shake it off, and just find that form that you had in the first 2 games. Because Rhythm, they're starting to, they're starting to get in their groove here, and a Rhythm that are, playing to their own beat. They're playing their own game. That is a dangerous squad, and it looked like they started finding it there. It wasn't so much the, obviously not the striking, but the outplays. They were having a lot of outplays, and just the maintaining of pressure. Keeping the boost high. Occasionally finding maybe a bump or a demo. just keeping the pressure on for as long as you possibly can until the shot is impossible to miss. And that is what they were doing for the majority of that game, and they finally stole themselves a win. Now you have to do it again. You have to brick by brick, game by game. You have to go again. And AK trying to find Straight in the backboard, Straight and long clear focuses into the corner. Maybe gets a chance here off the ceiling. Doesn't get a nice 50, but this is going to be pushed away. They're keeping pressure here though. Ender, leave that one for Chris. Chris just long clears that. Focus is so awkward. Does not get the touch he really wanted. AK shuts it down at least. It's high flying back in their corner. This is good. They're keeping pressure. It's going to be across the box. No one there to strike. Straight almost got there. Does get demoed for even trying. And first minute down in this game, and the Rhythm are at least keeping that same or similar pressure that we saw from last game.
Yeah, they're definitely starting this one on the hot seat, and they're trying to keep this one going. AK playing it over one. Straight trying to reach this one. Enderdude first to it. Focus trying to be Enderdude too, but Enderdude just the larger Homo sapien on the field as he is able to get multiple 50s, keep his team without the pressure going. AK goes missing on the back line. Straight able to clean that one up. No one on the Lumberjacks expected the miss there, but that was an opportunity, unfortunately, for the Lumberjacks that goes away. Focus playing this one to AK. Flushy, the only one really back here. Enderdude is able to get back in time, but Flushy goes anyway. Bit of a double commit now from the Lumberjacks. This could maintain some pressure now. Straight just trying to get a touch that beats one, but no one able to press from the Rhythm there as it goes back to the midfield. But it looks like Rhythm are going to be able to continue. Ooh, Focus doesn't go for that one. Flushy taking it over, and Rhythm might have got caught out a little bit there. That was an opportunity for them to maintain possession that they just lost. Focus is going to try to get this one clear. I don't know what's happening. There's so many misses going on. That one's going to make it through. Lumberjacks just say thank you to the Rhythm for deciding not to hit the ball. And that one makes its way through.
Yeah, that was so awkward for so long. They just kept putting them in check, and they couldn't get out, and eventually they found the goal. They're gonna have to claw back again. This has been the Rhythm's story, and hasn't changed much. Now they have to find themselves from down one again. Lumberjacks opting to just keep this pressure here. Enderdude maybe taking a bit of a pot shot. AK easily shuts that one down. Chris couldn't quite find a touch there. Flushy has to make a diving save in the midfield with no boost. Does well. AK maybe gets a chance here. Just pops it high again. Leaves it for Straight. Straight firing it under the crossbar. Flushy still with no boost. Left stranded. And that is the equalizer under halfway point of this game. And I mean, we're used to seeing the Lumberjacks double up on these leads, triple up on these leads, and now Rhythm cutting it down so quickly. This is a different Rhythm that we saw in games 1 and 2. This is a Rhythm that are fighting back and maybe has another chance here. Have to send every single player of the Lumberjacks forward to save that one. Enderdude doesn't get credit for the save. Focus maybe has a chance here. Flushy had to shut that one down himself, and Straight takes another shot, and it almost just finds the back. Or all the way to the back of the net. I thought for a second that it was miscommunication, but Chris stuck with it all the way and kept it safe. Straight has been the offender. I don't know what happened between games 2 and 3, but Straight's offense has started to kick into gear. He's started to find the back of the net with power, and that is exactly what this Rhythm team needed.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's not only finding the back of the net, he's also finding teammates too. They're really connecting well. AK and Straight especially. The team plays are coming out from them, and it really helps maintain pressure when you can always play it to a teammate, even if you're not getting a clean touch on the ball, getting a 50 to a teammate. That, as we speak, that midfield pass almost comes through. AK just gets 50'd out there. Focus for that one is able to get another 50. Focus just forcing that one out. Straight back to AK now. That's going to be a big bump though. Flushy not quite able to maintain the pressure as much as he wanted. That was another big demo coming out. They're trying to get all the pressure coming out now from the Lumberjacks. Focus, hero saved coming out as Chris trying to get this one back forward. Focus, this could be an opportunity going the other way, but kind of gives it away. Flushy taking it over. Big bump coming out. That was an opportunity. It did have to be placed. AK was getting there, but it was still an opportunity that could have been away. Alas, Lumberjacks still trying to get another one going here, trying to recreate what they had in game 1 and 2. And right now, Rhythm look like the better team right now.
Yeah, I would absolutely agree right now. They're the ones that are keeping structure. They're the ones that are keeping. But right as we start complimenting a team, of course, as Caster Curse comes right in time.
Of course, that's how it goes.
Chris finds the back of the net just off another misplay from the Rhythm. We thought it looked like they cleaned up all these little misplays, but once again they get burned for it, and Lumberjacks find their lead here late in the game. 30 seconds is all the Rhythm get. Focus is going to be trying to lead the charge here. It's into the corner. Ender Dude's just going to opt to keep this low.
There it is.
A massive error. And it's an equalizer within 10 seconds that has to sting. Ender Dude took a bit of a risky 50 in this corner. It flies across his box, and Chris couldn't react in time. He's maybe a little bit too close, and Rhythm, or more so Straight, just taps it in, and that is going to be a lead that they feel like, they might have a bit of a chance here, though. Right off the kickoff, their pressure into the corner. Ender Dude has a chance off the ceiling. Straight just cuts it down, has none of that nonsense. Going to the last 7 seconds here. Chris maybe has a chance. Focus turned the wrong way. He fires up his own boat. Flushy, top corner, just goes missing. Focus has to play for the 50. There's still air left. Flushy trying to fight Chris. AK does a great job just to put it down to the dirt. It's overtime. Game 4, the Rhythm are trying to keep their life, but they just need to fight back. They need one goal to get to Game 5 here. Chris is keeping pressure in his own corner. Pinches across the field. AK trying to just find some pressure. He wants to find a way into the series himself, but, this has just been so close back and forth, and the ball's flying back. There's been continued pressure now for Rhythm. Can they find it? They need to. We'll see. 30 seconds in overtime. Nothing quite yet. I spoke too soon. AK finds his way to the series by striking to the bottom left corner of the net. Bang, bang. They find themselves into Game 5. Rhythm are on track for the reverse sweep. I keep speaking too soon. I need to shut up.
No, but Flushy not able to get the clear that he wanted in AK position so well. Able to get that overtime goal, and Rhythm keeping themselves in this one. Lumberjacks really started fighting back right at the end of that last game. They started looking like their old selves, but a couple mistakes coming out from the Lumberjacks, and Rhythm were in position to punish. That's something that we weren't able to say in games 1 and 2, but now we're going on to Game 5, and I'm excited. I'm so glad that these two teams are playing the way they are now. They've definitely cleaned it up. Rhythm that didn't look good in those first two, but they're looking good now, and Lumberjacks, though they kind of cooled off a little bit, I still think, especially at the end of that last game, they were looking really good, but Rhythm came away with it anyway.
Yeah, that was just so unexpected. I mean, the Lumberjacks, they had it. They had it. They stole the lead away in the last 30 seconds, and then just a poor kickoff, which gave Rhythm another chance, and they broke through. They found that chance, and they just took it and ran with it, and that might be a mistake that that haunts them. And going to Game 5 once again, this is the hardest game for every team to close out. The closeout game is always the hardest, and now Rhythm have to do that. Rhythm have to keep this pace. Lumberjacks have been trying to close this out the whole time, but going into Game 5, I honestly think this is a complete even. I think this is a complete even game. I usually think that once you're going to match point, most of the momentum, I just don't think matters anymore. And we'll see. We'll see if I'm right or wrong.
Great save coming out from Focus there. I thought for sure he was going to be beat. He was 0 boost, able to get it clear there for his team. But yeah, momentum. You're totally right. In Game 5, whatever momentum you've built kind of goes by the wayside. It's not pointless, but it matters so much less because everyone is on do or die at this point. One game, one victory, that's all it is. If you win it, you're in. If you lose it, you're out. That's simple as that. And both teams now just fighting for it. Lumberjacks trying to get the pressure on here. Good connection in the midfield there. Straight, easy clear for him, but only as far as Christopher K. This one's going to go through. Ender Dude just barely saved out. I didn't see who was on the goal line there, but wonderful save. AK, big clear coming out from him. He's not going to be able to get to that one first. Ender Dude trying to play it middle. Chris, not quite where it needed to be for that one, but Flushy is going to be able to take this one just to the backboard, though. AK playing that backboard well. Focus, bit of a backflip there. This could be a chance now for Lumberjacks if they can maintain it. But no, straight stalwart on defense, trying to get this one back forward now. Ender Dude not going to be able, big 50 coming from him. I didn't think he was making it back to that one. AK, back to the middle. That was a crazy attempt at a pass. Straight, not quite able to get there first, though. Focus, back on the back line. And there's no pressure. Lumberjacks just letting him kind of take control here. AK, only as far as Chris of the K. Chris of the K has been having a lot of presence in that midfield. Doesn't want to let anything past him.
Oh no!
What happened here from Rhythm? This one's just free for Flushy.
Reminiscent of game 1 and 2. I mean, the pressure has been all Lumberjacks, and just caught the ball and there was no one home. You know, that usually there's at least someone there to put a hand up, but it's going to be rolling into your net, walk the dog style, and Lumberjacks, you know, like we've seen in almost every single game, they take the lead, but Rhythm, don't cut them out you too soon. They might find a comeback, and it might be sooner than you would expect. Straight balls the last defender and throws it into the last. Oh man, Felucia just had such an awkward touch, and
fantastic,
what an excellent cut through right there. And Straight puts it home, equalizes the game so quickly. And you know, for all of that pressure that the Lumberjacks were building, you know, they had pressure built for it seemed like a minute and a half. Just to find that first goal of theirs, Rhythm just say, I don't care about all that pressure. We'll just find a goal in 10 seconds. A goal's a goal. They both count for one. They got to keep going. 1-1. Going to have about half this game left. Ender Dude takes a bit of a big shot towards goal. Two people have to at least jump for that. Focus is going to carry it all the way out. AK into the corner. Can he find one more? He doesn't quite. Chris shuts it down. It's going to be Straight. Bit of a chance here. It's a tough read. He couldn't quite find it, and another AK went flying by as well. Left Focus on defense for alone, but Felucia, you know, somehow managed to keep pressure here. And they're trying to find a way out now. It's going to find its way to Focus. Focus bangs it against the backboard. Bit of a chance. Felucia goes missing, but Ender Dude's there to pick up the scraps, and is this going to be awkwardly in this corner? Maybe a bit of a chance. Does go wide, and 2 minutes left in this game. Both teams fighting to take lead.
Yeah, and Rhythm are trying to connect with each other here, but they're a little off sync, not quite connecting as well as they need to be. Ender Dude trying to get this one back middle, and AK able to get the clear out. This one shot not quite on target though. Straight able to get a clear anyway. Focus trying to get that one first, but Felucia beats him out. Straight not going to be able to get this 50 coming out. Ender Dude not going to be able to beat Focus. And now Chris the K with some control, passing at middle, pre-jump. Felucia almost through. Great save by Straight. Great positioning from him as they're trying to break through. They're holding all the pressure right now. No boost from the Rhythm as Straight finally gets that corner. AK pressing this one forward. Felucia meets him in the midfield. This one falls through. This one could be a chance. It is. Chris with a K slots it in the top left.
That was confidence. That is shooting that we have not seen from the Rhythm. And even if it's almost a completely open net, he just finds the perfect shot. I mean, top left, that's undefendable. It doesn't matter how many people is in net. It is a goal at 10 out of 10 times. And the Lumberjacks' continued pressure has been, you know, proving to be stronger in this shootout. Rhythm, I mean, I say shootout, but it's just been all the Lumberjacks. And that might be even one more. The pressure is just building once again. I mean, there are so many shots piling on, and they're just keeping pressure. This time, it's going to be Ender Dude to pot a shot. AK has to, you know, blow this one away. Straight, maybe getting a chance here to do it all himself. Not quite. Felucia's going to have a chance on the backboard here just to keep pressure again. Does find a decent bump. AK goes missing. Netward, but Felucia might have a chance here, just throwing it to the center. Chris cuts down by Focus. Focus being that wall that he needs to be. Already putting up 4 saves this game. Ender Dude trying to find a way through. It's actually AK. It's just finds its way again to a wall, and 30 seconds left. They need to find a goal right now.
They really do. 25 seconds. AK pressing this one forward is going to have some control. 50 coming out, but not forward. Focus just trying to get any touch here as Felucia's trying to get this one back middle. Straight, able to get the save, just barely. This one could be a counterattack now. Chris the K just gets back in time. Rhythm really trying to press. Focus for the double tap. Middle, not quite going to beat him out is AK. Straight has to get to this one first. He's going to be able to focus. Up for that one, doesn't make contact. Is it that one going to be able to get to it? No. And Lumberjacks take this series in 5. Denied the reverse sweep.
Yeah, and that game 5, that was so deserved. They just looked so deadly. They were on pressure for so long, and even though the Rhythm put up an astounding amount of saves that game, it just didn't matter. If you have all the pressure, it just doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter.
I think the entirety of the I didn't quite catch it at the end there. I think the Rhythm might have had only one or two shots.
I think it was
one shot all game, and it was just the one that they caught lacking. I mean, it was just all the Lumberjacks chopping down the Rhythm, and the reverse sweep almost happened, but they just barely shut them out, and that is going to be a massive win for the Lumberjacks. Trying to fight, they're pushing and trying to fight themselves back into contention for top 8 for far higher seeding, and I mean that's a wonderful way to do it. Shutting down a team that really has been looking good lately, and really surprised me today. Really surprised me.
Yeah, and they have to beat these teams. They have to surpass these teams. Rhythm is one of those teams that are on that line, so they're going to have to be able to jump a team like that in the standings to make land. So big win coming out from them, denying Rhythm points as well as getting themselves points. So yeah, it's going to be interesting seeing how this Lumberjacks team does in coming weeks, because they looked really solid. They didn't do anything like absurd, but they don't need to when you're playing that consistent, that solid. There were a couple mistakes that came out, but it was more. I would rather there be a big mistake than a bunch of little ones. And the mistakes that they made were like, oh, that person just missed the ball. That person backflipped, something like that. That stuff is going to happen sometimes. It's whatever. Lumberjacks played solid. I didn't see a whole lot of little errors that they could be making that are hard to fix. So I think they have a lot of potential.
Yeah, they did a really good job, closing the gap, shutting them down, and the Rhythm. They started to find their stride, but they just closed it out. They closed it out, and Lumberjacks did it in style. I'm really impressed. I'm just super impressed right now. I have nothing else to say. Congratulations. I mean, the W new team that just formed. We're almost at the end of the trade window here, and I think they found a team that has a real solid chance. Because normally you look at the lower seed teams and you think, there's no chance for them, but there really is a solid chance. This is a very strong team that you can see making a deep run in Major 2, and that's what a lot of these teams are looking to do. It's good that they could pick up a lot of these games in the regular season, but the Major 2 is what we're all really, really, really focused on. But that's all I have for me. Do you have anything else?
Just for at least the Rising Star teams, I know this was the last one for this week, but next week, Christmas. So holiday break. Enjoy the week off, but we'll be back in a couple weeks for some more matchups. But don't go anywhere for this week, because we still have Challenger and Premier in the following 2 days. So I've been Clash. We've been with Zoms. And until next time, it's been MCS. Thank you very much for joining us.